I will keep this open for now. Greetings, friends. Today we're going to record 5 YouTube videos. It's going to be a big block of deep work. We're going to be, what are we? Maybe about 2 hours in. I've just stretched for Sneeko as well. And Harrowin Vestra got first comment. Let's go, bro. Fucking dopamine. We got 5 videos to do, so I'm gonna need some help because a couple of them I don't have all of the ideas just yet. Yo, spam 1 if you came to my last live stream. It was 2 days ago, I think. Spam 1 if you came to the last live stream where I did the it was just like this, where I recorded videos and I asked for advice on that. There you go. Shave my beard. Nah. I'm not touching my beard or my hair at all, bro. I'm literally just letting that shit grow out like in fucking wild man style for a little bit. I'm not touching it. How's the gyno looking, boys? How's your pasta looking right now? This is you right now, bro. This is you, bro. Oh, I see some people use their phone like this. Bro, I literally see some people use their phone like this. Like, look how fucking disgusting you look when you're like this, bro. I literally fully like this, bro. How does that not fuck ugh. Fuck me, man. If you're on your phone right now, bro, literally, this is how Adonis holds his phone. Up here. Up here. That's right. Like that. So the first video we're going to do today is 3 bad habits that make you creepy. Should I have the live chat come onto the screen? I might take it off, actually. Because it's kind of annoying, isn't it? Or I might actually put it about here. So if I'm here, boom. Yeah. I'm getting a little bit fat these days, aren't I, bro? I'm almost 200 pounds now. So if I'm here, boom, the chat's there. This can go a little bit more like this, so boom. Does that look okay? Or should I just remove the chat? Spam 1 if I should remove the chat, and spam 2 if I should keep the chat on screen. Because can't you just see the chat on the side anyway? Thank you, baby. Thank you. You're going to watch the stream? Huh? You're going to watch the stream? Of course. What else are you going to do, baby? Am I on a bulk? Yeah, man. I'm doing big boy shit, bro. I'm not, like, cutting down till fucking 220 pounds. I'm bulking like another 20-25 pounds now. Oh fuck, I always ask people to spam the numbers. I'm such a bad streamer. I always ask people to spam the numbers and I forget what the number was supposed to be. 1 was supposed to be to keep it on screen, was it? What was 1 and what was 2, boys? Was 1 supposed to be to keep it on screen? Because everyone's spamming 1. Was 1 to keep it on stream or to take it off? I forgot. You're so huge now. Yeah, thank you, man. This bulk's been kind of difficult. It's really hard to eat this much, I'm not gonna lie. Yes. 1, keep it. 2 was keep. Oh, bro, now half the people are saying 1 was to keep it. Half the people are saying 1 was to remove it. I don't know. I'm just gonna remove it because I know it is nice for like the live stream type of shit of like, oh yeah, if people click this video or something, but like I fucking hate the live chat, I'm not gonna lie. The thing is, you as an individual person, you're actually like a little bit smart, you've got goals and ambitions, you're like a pretty decent person. But when people come together into a live chat like this on Twitch or on YouTube or anything, they turn into like fucking idiots, bro. It's just weird, bro. I took a picture for Sneeko as well, actually. Have a look at this guy. I took this picture. I'm going to put it on my community post right now and caption it free Sneeko. I'm a little bit late. You know, I only found out like a week ago he got banned. Again. I'm going to post it now. What's Sneeko on now? Is he on Rumble though? Free. Free Sneeko. Does anyone remember what this means? Like me stretching on the bed. That's like when me and Sneeko like original like little beef fucking started. It was like I was stretching and he was making fun of me. Alright, you ready? Oh, I'm not recording. I don't need to record this video, do I? Okay. Yeah, I'm not shredded anymore, boys. I've not been shredded for a while, man. I've been bulking now for about 5 months, 6 months. Is there any disadvantages of doing a bulk where your carb sources are only legumes and stuff? The only disadvantage is that it's a little bit harder to eat healthy food, which, bro, fucking pursue the hard thing anyway, man. I don't know why people cheat their bulks and just eat shit. I did that for a little point, I'm not gonna lie. I did for about maybe 2 weeks. I just ate like a normal fucking bodybuilder, fitness influencer, and I just ate like, you know, food delivered and carbs and shit. You just feel fucking horrible, bro. Even if you're gonna gain muscle faster by eating shit carbs, I don't think it's worth it for me anymore. If you're, you know, 17, 18 years old and you're skinny fat right now and you've got a huge amount to gain from your fitness journey, you fucking just eat the carbs and just fucking bulk up. Do what it takes. But at least for me now, I'm years into this journey. I'm already, you know, I fit size large shirts like tightly. I've already got the frame. I've already got size and stuff. It's like the ROI for me to keep sacrificing my health and my mental energy because of carbs. Like, you know, your mental like focus gets fucked up because you eat carbs. Honestly, if you haven't done this already, just eat some carbs and just really be aware of what it does to your brain. It just makes you stupid, man. In the words of Iman Gaji, carbs are the devil. Lean bulking is the way. Right now I'm doing super lean bulking. I'm losing weight a little bit by accident, so I need to eat more. But I'm just eating meat. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure if I'll get cancelled or some shit for this. I think the next cancel... Yeah, mark my words, boys. The next kind of cancel culture type of thing is gonna come with the meat eaters. Mark my words. The next big push... Right now it's against masculinity and stuff. The next huge one, this huge like government cultural pressure is gonna be from vegans and vegetarians on people who are eating meat because meat is bad for climate change and everything. I'm not sure how much I can say without getting cancelled, but once you research this shit, you realize like... Yeah, man. Am I Muslim? Nah, not yet. Maybe very soon though. Started reading the Quran actually. I was wondering last night, if I came out as Muslim, like I'm not Muslim yet, but like if I came out as Muslim, would people instantly think that I was just copying Tate? Would they be like, oh my god, I see Tate became a Muslim just a while ago, so you're copying him now, like you're lying or something, or... Because I feared that people would just think I was like copying him or something, but like, hopefully it's kind of like logical to think you're not gonna dedicate your fucking life to a religion just to copy on someone, are you? Okay, let's do it, boys. So the way this is gonna work, I'm recording this video, 3 bad habits that make you creepy. I'm gonna record it. I have 2 signs already, so I need you guys to help me to pick out the 3rd one. Because, I mean, I'll do a bonus one, so stinking can be a bonus one. This will be a bonus, actually, bonus. Okay, sweet, let's do it. People credited me on like how instantly I can just get in the zone with this as well, which was kind of nice to hear. Sometimes I don't really realize like how much I've made progress in like the skill of talking to the camera. All right, ready for this, boys? Jeffrey locks his eyes onto Jessica. His palms begin to drip with sweat. There she is. She's alone. Now's my chance. Jeffrey awkwardly stumbles over to her. She sees him coming and she's already disgusted. Jessica. Oh. But Jessica doesn't want anything to do with him. He keeps staring at her titties. Come on, Jeffrey. Adonis. Adonis enters his tribe's dining hall when the most beautiful woman catches his eye. Anastasia. He confidently strides towards her and introduces himself. He charms her with his words, and Anastasia can't help but draw closer to him. He's irresistible. Okay. What is a story of mine which I can tell about being creepy? Have I been creepy before? Which girl in my life? This is how I come up with videos, by the way, if you're trying to figure out. I sit, after I do the intro, I sit here and I think, okay, what's a story I can tell? When have I done the bad thing? What girl would call me creepy? If I think back of like my dating life, is there any girls that would consider me creepy? What girl would call me creepy? And the fact that I have to take like such a long time to figure this out is kind of a nice thing, I guess. Have I been very creepy? I've always been way more passive, to be honest. Yeah, I'll tell that story then. Okay. Usually when I start these videos, I give you the Jeffrey and Adonis intro, then I take some time to think of a story where I have done the mistake, so I've been creepy. I've just sat here for like a minute, really just asking myself, okay, when have I been really, really creepy to a girl? And honestly, like, I can't really think of one. At least for me, like, I was way more reserved to never come across in a negative way to a girl. And so, you know, for example, if there was a girl that I was into, sure, you know, I might like stare at her, you know, a little bit and obsess over her. But I would, but I was never the guy who would be like spamming her phone when she didn't reply. Like, I always kind of was a little bit too scared of like coming across as keep. I was always a little bit too scared of coming across as too creepy, and so I was on like the underside of this. But I have seen other guys who have been far too creepy and they've followed like these three bad habits. And there's been so many times. So, for example, and there's been so many times. So, for example, when I used to go to nightclubs when I was about 18, 19, you know, I was just getting into like partying for the first time in my life. I I would go about speaking to girls in more of like a cool way. Like I learned from this like cool black guy of like game and how to talk to girls. But but there would be times when I would go out with female friends of mine and they would run over to our group saying, "Oh, this guy's being creepy. This guy won't leave me alone." And imagine a female friend of yours runs over. Imagine you're in some club or some party and she says, "Bitch," fucking loud ass noise. Because imagine Imagine this right now. Imagine you're in a party or a nightclub or something, and a female friend of yours runs over and says, "That guy's being creepy." I want you to visualize that guy. What does he look like? Who is that guy? If you visualize that guy who's being creepy right now, I can see him. He's podgy, like he's got like higher body fat. He's not fat, but he's got like probably 20% body fat. He's holding his drink, like his alcoholic drink up here, and he's already like drunk, like stumbling over the place, and come here, like he wants to like speak to some girl. He just has no social mannerisms. He probably stinks. He's unhygienic. He's got like, you know, alcohol. He's in the party environment. He's like drips some fucking. This is an anti-spill bottle, but like he drips some alcohol all over his stomach and stuff, you know, all over his shirt, and he's still trying to like go and approach girls. Now, I mean, props for his confidence, I guess. But if girls are literally physically running away from him because he's being obnoxiously creepy, obnoxiously just weird and like too full on, you never want to be that guy. Not only because of the effect that you're having on the girl, that you're literally scaring her and she's running away, but also, I'm not the same guy anymore. But back then, when a guy would have this effect on like a girl that I actually liked, you know, we were just like friends or whatever, like it would piss me off to the point that I would actually like start on this guy and like I'd actually get aggressive towards him. If some guy like didn't get this social cue of like, okay, leave the girl, if she's physically running away from you, bro, and he's still stumbling over trying to speak to her, some like trying to grab her and stuff. I've never hit a guy like that, but I've been very close. There's been multiple times. Like I was always like the guy who the girls would run to, and this isn't me trying to. Oh, I'm so strong, because it's stupid as fuck. Like I could have easily been knocked out. I'm so surprised that I never once got sucker punched when I did this. But anytime I would see this happening and a girl would come and tell me like, "Oh, this guy's being creepy. He won't leave me alone," I'd go over to him and fully like fucking intimidating him, tell him like, "Turn around and walk the fuck away right now." I'd be imagine like it's not a nice situation to be in. Not only again because the girl's running away and it's gonna hurt your self-esteem to think that you're the fucking weirdo creep that's like literally repelled the girl away, but also because then she is gonna go and like tell other people, and you just don't want that. You do not want to be seen as the creepy guy. And so there's 3 bad habits that will make you seem really, really creepy. And unfortunately, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna slightly black pill you. And if you don't know what the black pill is, it's kind of like this belief that attractiveness is the only thing that matters when it comes to dating as a guy. I'm just gonna give you a brutal truth, which is bad habit number one. I'm just gonna give you a brutal truth. I'm just gonna give you a brutal truth, which is bad habit number one that makes you creepy, which is that you pursue having sex with her. I'm just gonna give you a brutal truth, which is gonna seem really negative for me to say this to you. But this bad habit that makes you really fucking creepy is that you pursue or you really want to have sex with her, but you're just not that attractive. You're not the kind of guy that is in her brain, her subconscious brain, that is past the eligibility line to have sex / date her. In the modern day, with these like really fucked dating standards that are happening right now, like this eligibility line in women's like brain, you know, like they're not like autistically thinking, oh, this eligibility line, but like just imagine like their standards is here. Every couple of months, it keeps going higher and higher and higher. And I can, you know, do a full 50-minute video explaining this. And maybe that'd be interesting if you guys want me to like do a video explaining why exactly in really good detail why standards for women are going higher and why standards for men are going lower. But essentially, her standards keep going higher. And now the issue is that if a guy who's below these standards, which are in her brain, tries to pursue having sex with her, he's going to be seen as repulsive, which essentially, this is like a black pill, because essentially this just means you need to be hot. You need to be attractive. You cannot navigate this normal dating world now without being attractive. And I've never once told you that the opposite of this is true. I've never once told you that it's fine to be ugly. I've always said from the start that a part of our self-improvement journey should be improving our physical attractiveness. So many guys, you don't realize how much criticism I've faced because of this. So many guys have called me shallow for this. So many like little intellectual little nerds have called me like a bad person for telling young men that you should try to improve how you look, because that's seen as really shallow. That's seen as like, you know, so vain or something. And for so many years, bro, I was seen as the vain guy that was like narcissistic, that cared too much about how he looked. People said that was shallow, and yet it helped me to cultivate love in my life. Love and sex are literally fundamental needs for humans. And if right here, right now, in this modern dating world, the thing that's gonna get you, you know, a girl who's interested in you, the thing that's gonna attract your future wife and the mother of your children is for you to just be a little bit more in shape, for you to just be a little bit more well-groomed and more handsome. Is that really shallow? I don't think so. So the first bad habit that makes you really fucking creepy, which seems just so like horrible for me to say, is just you're not attractive. Because this is a brutal black pill. But we can have two guys who do the exact same thing to a girl. So, you know, two guys text her the same things. Two guys act in exactly the same way. But one guy's more attractive and the other guy's not. This guy is going to be seen as charming. And this guy's actually going to be seen as creepy, even though they did the same thing, simply because of the person that they are, and most likely because of how attractive they are. It's a brutal black pill. This is a brutal black pill, but it's something that we do need to accept, because I think it is like just the truth. And it's something that we need to just bring into our self-improvement journey to realize the more attractive that you become, physically attractive, but also, you know, like attractive in the social charismatic sense, and also the attractiveness that comes from having clout and having followers and having money, like, you know, just attractive in general. The more attractive that you actually become, the higher the barrier for you to seem creepy. Let's say this is a horrible, let's say you're a grotesque man. Let's say you're just literally a 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10 man. And I hate using this phrase, like, you know, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. And I hate using this phrase like 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, but like I think it, you know, it helps us understand what we're talking about. Let's say you're an absolute, like, just not attractive guy at all. You smell and everything. You're a 1 out of 10 guy. Well, your barrier to be seeming as creepy is going to be very low, isn't it? So a 1 out of 10 guy could literally just make eye contact towards a girl and she'd actually get a little bit repulsed. Let's say that 1 out of 10 guy, you know, he's really obese or something. Let's say he just loses all the weight and suddenly he's in shape. He's not jacked or anything. He's in shape. And now he's like a 2.5 out of 10. So, you know, he's just went up a little bit. He's still not attractive, but, you know, a little bit. Well, the barrier for him being creepy is just slightly went a little bit higher. Let's say now he dedicates the next few years to discipline, builds up an aesthetic body, builds up like this physique that actually makes him look like a fucking fitness model. Maybe his face isn't attractive, but he's now literally shaped like a fucking Greek god. And now he takes like sexy pictures, you know, maybe he can hide his face a little bit, but he's like literally got a six-pack abs and everything. Now he's at like a 4 out of 10, a 5 out of 10. Him being creepy now, it's a little bit higher, and a little bit higher, and a little bit higher. If that guy now goes and gets clout and gets a level of fame, gets successful, gets a nice car, grooms himself, now he's a 5, a 5.5, and a 6. Well, his barrier to being creepy is just increased. So if you're really scared of coming across as being creepy, this is like long-term advice, and I know it seems a little bit like sad and you know, negative that the world's like this, but how creepy you are is quite quite heavily correlated to simply just how attractive you are. Become more attractive, and also become more confident, especially sexually with girls, and you'll be seen as less creepy. I was better brown. Why am I looking white right now? Private video, low SMV. Okay. So understand this. So understand this. If you have low SMV, sexual market value, if you're unattractive, if you're not confident, you know, just dating the girl, texting the girl, if you're especially not confident when it comes down to the sexual side of things, when it comes to bringing her into the bedroom, you're going to be seen as creepy. If you don't feel that experienced, a little bit, bro, no. If you, I'm going to say that again, actually. She's going to find it creepy. So understand and remember this. If you don't have, if you're low, so understand and remember this. If you have low SMV, sexual market value, like the things that you bring to the table that are attractive, if you're not very attractive, if you're not very confident, especially when it comes to the sexual stuff, honestly, especially when it comes to like bringing her into the bedroom, if you're not very confident or experienced, and you're also not attractive, it can really be seeming, it can really come across as creepy. I've got two things that I can get. It can really come across as creepy. It can really come across as creepy. If you go to the description of this video, if you go to the description underneath this video, I have a private video that's linked there, which is 3 terrible mistakes to avoid in your first impression when you take a girl to the bedroom. Boom. That's number 1. Boom. Not getting the subtle signs she's not interested. The second bad habit that will make you seem creepy is not getting the subtle signs that she's not interested. Now, I just recently did a video which shows like, now I just recently did a video where I go over a bunch of signs. Now I just recently did a video where I go over a bunch of signs where she's not, now I just recently did a video which I'll link as a card right now, so you can click on that. And I went over a bunch of signs that she doesn't like you. And a lot of guys don't actually pick up on these. And, you know, they're just not very clued up in like these sexual mannerisms. And so they don't really get the message. And I think that phrase perfectly encapsulates it. And I want you to just ask yourself right here, right now, just for a few seconds, maybe pause the video and just ask yourself, do I get the message that she's not into me? Has there been a time when you've somewhat pursued a girl who seemed like she was into you, not really, and you know, you just really wanted to see, and you know, she wasn't like being very direct? The issue with me asking you this question is because the guys who are a little bit more experienced in this will be able to look back with humility and think, yeah, you know what, like there was a bunch of times when it was kind of clear that a girl wasn't into me, but I didn't really see the sign. You know, I was really like overly invested. I really wanted to get her, so I just didn't really pick up on the signs. The issue is, if you right here, right now, need to hear this advice, it's probably likely that your brain won't accept this advice, that this is for you right here, right now, that you're probably not picking up on the signs that she doesn't like you, and that's what's making you come across as creepy. A lot of girls, and even guys, don't really have the confidence to reject someone in a very upfront, straightforward way. It's quite rare for a girl to straight up look at you, or you know, to text you and say, hey, sorry, I'm not interested in a relationship with you, or I don't want to have sex with you. Wish you all the best. Goodbye. It's very rare that a girl is that upfront with it, because most girls and even most guys do it in this like very slyly way where they'll just start like ghosting you, and it makes you like paranoid and you start thinking about them more, or maybe they start sending you like shorter messages, or maybe they tell you like, oh, they're too busy. Most people will just kind of string you along, mostly because they don't have the confidence to reject you in a very secure, upfront, healthy way, and also because they kind of are slightly fucked in the head and they kind of like the extra, the game of you chasing them. Most people like that, even if they're not interested in you. It just gives them a feeling of importance and makes them feel good about themselves. And I'm bad for this myself. I've done this many times as well. Which means that guys often are not getting a very clear upfront rejection. They're getting more of like a semi-small rejection, which most guys aren't picking up of, because most guys are simply too needy and too desperate and too clingy to realize it. Now, this is something that I really improved on as I got a little bit older. That now I kind of have this attitude, like if I was single again, I have this attitude that if it isn't extremely clear that this girl likes me, then I just take that as a no. For me personally, if I'm considering like, dating a girl or something, I want to feel like in her mind, it's like absolutely like, fuck yes, Hamza's amazing. That's the only kind of like, that's like the standard that I have. If she doesn't feel that way and it's not so clear that she's into me, then I'm not gonna like chase after some girl who's like, some vaguey, oh yeah, she might be into me, she might not. Because once you have like a level of respect for yourself, you start to increase the standards of like which you want your partners to be able to show affection and attraction towards you. Chances are right now you might not be at that level of, security and abundance. And so any attention that a girl gives you, and she replies back to your text messages, kind of feels like, oh well, she kind of likes me, she must like me. No, Hamza's not talking about me here, he must be talking about someone else. I'm talking about you, bro. I'm talking about you and the girl that you're into, and you just don't realize that she's already rejected you because she gives like this subtle rejection. You need to have this kind of personality going forward where if a girl isn't very clearly into you, you just kind of take that as a rejection as it is, but not like a bad one, not where, you're getting pissed off or something, but just like if she's not very forward with the fact that she likes you, or at least she's interested in pursuing something, then you just kind of take that as like, okay, whatever, boom. So many guys get the smallest little bait, bro. Like, the carrot on a stick analogy. It's like girls are just dangling like not even the whole carrot, bro. Like a tiny fucking little, like the fucking stem of a carrot. Girls are just dangling like a fucking carrot, and a bunch of desperate guys are still trying to get it because that's the most carrot that they've ever been able to get it so far. No. Go for the full carrot, bro. You deserve the fucking full. Well, you know what? I was gonna give you like this little false hype, so maybe you'll like me more, and maybe you'll appreciate my videos, and you'd feel good about this video. So hopefully you click on my videos more after this, bro. I'm not gonna falsely hype you up. I was gonna say like you deserve the full carrot, bro. Chances are you probably don't. I'm sorry to be fucking horrible, but chances are you probably don't deserve the fucking full carrot. You probably don't deserve her like full attention and admiration just yet. I don't want to be an asshole, but sometimes you need someone to just look at you like almost like this older brother figure and just look at you and say, bro, you're not that great. You're not that attractive. You're not that confident. You don't bring that much to the table. If she got in a relationship with you, you wouldn't even improve her life in any way. Now, you think you would. You think it'd be awesome dating you. The thing is, like, you're not that great. As a man, it takes some time to build up. And sure, some little TikTok boy with the perfect hair and little six-pack, sure, he might be able to get more girls than you because he's young and attractive right now. But for most men, we don't have amazing genetics. For most men, it comes from how we build ourselves. The best things you can build is your physique, because that leads to so many better benefits, and then also your success. Because if you build your physique and your success, so by success I mean like work success, business success, grades. These two things give you an astronomical amount of confidence. They actually make you feel good about yourself, and then your standards for the people who come into your life increase. The fact that you're watching this video right now and you're hooked onto my words, and that analogy of like, she's just baiting the fucking stem of the carrot actually meant something to you, means that you're not ready yet. You don't deserve the full carrot. You don't deserve her attraction yet. Now, you can get sad about this. You can get upset, you can get nihilistic and depressed, and you can go over to some black pill videos if you want. Or you can, get pissed off at women and get angry and get bitter. Or you can get better. You can think to yourself right now, without any level of hatred, and think, you know what? As much as it is kind of, sad and frustrating to not really attract any girls, the thing is, like, I can't really blame them, because of course they're going to choose the guy that they really want. They're going to choose the guy who's the best. And I'm not the best yet. I haven't built myself up to that point. The single greatest thing you can do, which it is hard, it takes some time, but like, Get into the top 10% of men in your area. The top 10%. Now, obviously this depends on the city you live in, how old you are and everything, but relatively, if you're lean and you have a pretty good body, and you're also a little bit more successful than every other guy around you, and you also don't do a bunch of like the really bad habits, like, you know, watching porn and jacking off every day, you're probably going to be in the top 10%. Now, chances are you're probably not even there just yet. To get into the top 10% of men only takes 2 years. Like, it took me 2 years. Honestly, it takes 2 years, and that's if like I was already, you know, like 23, so 23 to 25, right? If you're younger than me, if you're 16, 17, 18, bro, for you to be better than the guys around you, go to the gym really hard and discipline yourself for 6 months. Stop eating all this shit fucking Western food that's fucking up your brain and your diet and your body fat percentage. Start pursuing a business, start learning how to make more money. As soon as you're making like $1,000 a month, bro, you're like, if you're 18 years old and you're making it online from like a nice little business that you've built, bro, you're in the top 10%. Take some good shirtless pictures. You'll be getting girls on Tinder, on Instagram, or even in real life when you're walking around and, you know, your fit is looking like nice, snug shirt on your biceps. Boom. I'm not going to sugarcoat things for you, and I need you right here, right now, to listen to my words carefully. If you want to keep subscribed to my channel, this is not the place that you come to feel good about yourself with this false hype that you'll see from like school and every other fucking YouTube channel that you'll see out there. Because I care about you, I will criticize you. It's in the masculine way of men to criticize each other's weaknesses and to point them out so that we can improve. If that hurts your feelings, good. I'm sorry that you're so sensitive. That's another thing that we need to work on. You can stick around if you want right here, right now, and just hold your hand up and say, you know what? I will keep coming to Hamza's videos because he actually criticizes my weaknesses. And that's something that I need, even though it offends me and pisses me off slightly. And if you don't want to do that, then you can go find another fucking... I don't even know. You can go back to school and listen to the, like, oh yeah, participation trophies and we're all amazing. Like, how's that been for you, bro? You need to hear sometimes that, yeah, you're not that great. You're really not that great. You need to get exposed to someone who's 50 times more successful to you. I don't want to be a dick. I really don't want to be a dick, okay? This is, what I'm about to say is going to sound really bad, but bro, your monthly income, I make it whilst I sleep. And I don't say this to put you down or to big me up or anything. I don't say this to like big me up. I say this in a really weird way to slightly put you down a little bit, to expose you to a level of success that you haven't seen. The amount of matches that you get per month on Tinder, I get in the first 2 hours after creating an account. And I'm not even that amazing. There's guys who are above me who literally, like, you know, my monthly income or something, they make overnight. You can see there's fucking, like, levels to this shit. You need to be exposed. This is the issue with, like, you know, me kind of telling you about my success to show it relative to yours, so you can think, oh, fuck, that guy's so much more successful than me, so I want to be more like that. All of the weak people are going to get offended to this. All of the weak people are going to get offended of this. You know, the guys who wear like clean shirts and they'll be watching this thinking, oh, that's not very intellectual. You should have humility. Like, humility is a fucking awesome thing, but people confuse it, bro. Humility and humbleness are not the same thing. I am not a humble man. I don't think being humble is a good thing. I don't think being humble is a masculine trait. Being humble is you like bringing down how... Being humble is you like... Being humble is you just downplaying your real objective success of the world. Humility is an awesome thing. Humility is just having this mindset of knowing that there's a lot more progress you can make to stay a student, to keep learning. Have lots of humility. Sometimes you need a little slap in the face to just tell you, bro, like, there's so much more that you need to improve on. If you're struggling with girls right now, it's not because of any fucking circumstances that you want to say. It's not because you live in India and it's just like this here. It's not because of this like random fucking circumstance, whatever like trait you want to bring it down to. It's simply that you haven't worked hard enough in two main things: your physique and your success. Build them two, and also, you know, with that comes confidence, and that's an important thing to build up. But build them two, and you'll be doing just fine. So the fact that you're watching this video shows me that you haven't done them two. Whew. That was two things, boys. We need one more. Help me with this, boys. We need one more. What is a bad habit that makes you creepy with girls? What is a bad habit that makes you creepy with girls? Can anyone give me a suggestion? Can anyone give me a suggestion? Playing video games, no money, no confidence. I've got stinking, so poor hygiene. That could be one. I'm really liking staring. A lot of you guys just said staring, and a lot of you guys also said just weed. Oh no, the weed was all from one guy. Staring was a big one. Stalking, eye contact, staring. I've kind of went through staring already, to be honest. So I mean, although that would probably be the single greatest one. Smoking. I'm surprised so many guys are saying smoking. How does smoking and weed make you creepy? Watching Hamza videos. Not asking them out. Too clingy, I've went over that as well. Smack. Only girl in your life. No socials. I've done social mannerisms. I've done you're not attractive. I've done you're not picking up on our subtle signs. To be honest, I think the first point I made kind of encapsulates all of it. It's like nothing is really creepy. It's more so just who you are. Because a lot of guys have said staring, but if you're an attractive guy, staring is not like your barrier to being creepy just is way higher. So an attractive guy staring at a girl generally isn't that creepy. Of course, it still can be, but seeking attention, overthinking, mumbling, giving gifts can be one. Overthinking. What's a specific habit? Like, what's a specific action that a creepy guy does? He'll stare too much, especially at her body. He'll I wouldn't say stuttering. I don't think stuttering makes someone creepy. I think it maybe reduces your attraction. Too eager. What's a specific? So we need a habit though, not just a trait. What is a very specific action that a creepy guy does? So not body language, not like communication skills. It needs to be a very specific thing that he does. So he double texts, but I don't think that's that creepy though. What's like a really creepy thing? He stares at her body is a very specific one. Smiling too much. That's not that bad. I was gonna say stinking, so I was gonna say bad hygiene, but I don't think that's like creepy. I think that's unattractive, but it's not creepy, is it? What really creeps a girl? Wearing a hood. Nail biting, nah. I think staring could be one. Staring at her body. Probably staring. Yeah, I'll go with staring. And now the third habit that makes you creep. And now the third habit that's making you creepy is just staring. Now, it's very, very good to hold the girl's eye contact, especially up until she looks away. Okay, I'm gonna actually give you a tip, right? So let's say you're walking through the street or you're in class or whatever, and there's a girl there who you like and you're attracted to, and you and her meet eyes. This is like the surefire way to build up some attraction in literally just seconds. You meet eyes with a girl, you hold it just with like a level of confidence, even with a little bit. You hold it with just some level of confidence and even like a little bit of a smile. You hold her eye contact. She'll look away. What you do is you don't really stare, but you just kind of like keep looking, which I know you don't really stare, but you just kind of like keep looking, because what's going to happen is if she looks away and she's attracted to you, within about 5 to 10 seconds, she'll look back. And if you catch her when she looks back, instant attraction is built. But what I must say is that this will work if you're already pretty attractive to begin with. Now, you don't have to be some like, some TikTok boy or some shit, but like you've got to have at least some level of like attraction. If you're not attractive at all, then this is going to be seen as creepy. So it brings us back to the first point. Honestly, I know this video is about 3 bad habits, but really it's so fucking weird because I wish I could say more to you, but really this all comes back to just there's no habits that really, really make you creepy. It's just who you are and how attractive you are. Because staring, the thing is, staring is a creepy trait, right? Pretty is. Because the thing is, staring is a creepy trait. It is pretty creepy, but the guy who's really unattractive who's staring, well, that's creepy. But the guy who's really attractive who's staring, well, the girl's not going to think, oh, he's staring at me. She's going to think like, oh, we made eye contact and he was, oh, he's so attractive. Like, ah. So maybe the third habit can be doing too much which is past your level of attractiveness. Does that make sense? Not really understanding where you are in, out of 10 attractiveness, and then behaving like you're way higher than that. That could seem as creepy. That's probably a good way to end the video. It's just acting in a way that you are way higher than you really are. That can seem, actually no. Actually, no, I'll take that bit out, because that's not really creepy. That's like obnoxious, it's annoying and stuff. Some guys pretending to be like, some Chad or alpha male or something. It's not, no girl would think, oh, that's creepy, he's not replying to me faster. No. It probably just would be, it would be staring, wouldn't it? And this is particularly true if you stare at her body. Now, I think if you hold her eye contact, I don't really think that's staring. Like, it could be, if you just look at her. This is how brown guys look at me when I walk past them. Like, no smile, no nothing. And then when I get, sometimes I'll remember, okay, let me smile. I'll smile, and then they'll go. Like this, then they'll get all happy, like stuff. Like, some guys will literally just fucking stare. The thing is, if you're just holding her eye contact, that's a good thing. But staring, looking too much at her body, that is when it gets creepy, and that's when your attraction lowers. And again, this is so interesting because a Chad, a really attractive guy, can stare at a woman's body and it can be really sexual. If you imagine this Chad in the club right now, he sees some girl that he's attracted to, he'll eye fuck her body, bro. This is what I used to do to attract girls in clubs. If there was a girl that I liked and she was dressed in in a dress or something, you literally make it known that you're looking up and down. And that can seem as creepy for some unattractive guy. But if you're the guy who she's attracted to and you do that and you give a certain little look where you're showing, oh yeah, she's hot, that honestly melts some girls. I don't think this video is that good because honestly, in the end, all it just matters is just how attractive you are. The barrier to the actions that you do being perceived as creepy is just linear to how much more self-improvement you've done, and also just how much of a Chad that you become. And you don't have to become the ultimate total Chad. You don't have to become this 10 out of 10 guy. But as you improve your looks, as you build your body, as you get more successful, more confident, as you get better at grooming yourself through all the other things that I've talked about. I've done a full looks maxing guide as well that I'll have linked as a card. So I've done a full 40-minute video on how to improve your looks. The more you improve your looks, the more things you can do which are actually seen as attractive instead of creepy. And throughout this video, I've mentioned the importance of building your aesthetic physique. If you want to get the workout routines that will build the most sexy, attractive physique, they're linked in the description too. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah! Whew! That was a long-ass video, boys. That was 3 bad habits that make you creepy. Well, what we'll do now is... Here, help me with this, boys. What video should I record next? We've got the 12 Rules for Life book summary. So 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. We've got Think and Grow Rich book summary. Which one? Do you want to see me record 12 Rules for Life, spam 1? And if you want to see me record Think and Grow Rich, spam 2. So 12 Rules for Life is Jordan Peterson's book, and it's a big sort of just a way to navigate life and a bunch of tips that he gives out. I've not read the entire book, to be honest, but the starting was really good. And number 2 is about Think and Grow Rich, and that's how to use your psychology and your thoughts to get more money. Spam 1 for 12 Rules for Life, and spam 1 for 12 Rules of Life, and spam 2 for Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, thank you, Noah. He just donated $5. The 25-year-old self message. Yeah, I should watch that back, shouldn't I, actually? I've watched it, actually, but I've not watched it on stream or anything. Rex Wayne super chatted 199. Do you have any advice for intrusive thoughts? Yeah, they used to plague me a lot, bro, and it doesn't really happen these days. Meditation and journaling really fucking helped with that, man. Seems like most people are saying, what are we thinking? 12 rules for life? I'm surprised it's quite an even split. I thought 12 rules for life would have absolutely dominated. Seems like quite a lot of people like Think and Grow Rich as well. 2. There's a bunch of 2s as well. 1 or 2, boys, which one? I'd say we'll do 1 first, and then we'll do 2 after that. So we'll do both anyway. 12 rules for life. Jeffrey hasn't read 12 Rules for Life. Jordan Peterson is a misogynist. I'm not reading his book. But Jeffrey's a submissive, feminine man, just like the media wants him to be. He ignores self-improvement books because he thinks masculinity is toxic, and he hasn't set his... He ignores self-improvement books like 12 Rules for Life or The Way of the Superior Man because he thinks that masculinity is toxic. I actually had a very good friend of mine who was exactly like this. Bro, I gave The Way of the Superior Man to a friend of mine, and he literally thought it was like a sexist book because it said superior man. He was like, but men aren't superior to women. Come on, bro. Adonis has read and implemented every self-improvement book that he could get his hands on. Through that journey, he's become masculine, strong, and wealthy. Whilst Jeffrey stalks his crush on social media, the women stalk Adonis. Okay. The first rule for life from Peterson is stand up straight with your shoulders back, and it's my favorite one. It goes a lot deeper than just, your body language of, put your chest up straight, stand up straight. It goes a lot deeper than just your body language of, putting your chest out with your shoulders back and you're standing up with good posture. What he explains to us is that your body language may actually correlate with your position in society. So if you're somewhat of like a beta male, your body language will be more slumped over and you'll be more like neurotic, anxious, and actually less happy. Like your happiness, your serotonin, your dopamine, and also your testosterone seem to correlate with your position in hierarchy. Your happiness, serotonin, dopamine, and testosterone seem to heavily correlate with your position in the social hierarchy. Essentially, how close you are to being the alpha male. It's in the modern day, it's so like unacceptable to talk about this term of the alpha and the beta, and everyone calls it cringe. But like, there's still real evidence that shows the more that you progress to being more of like an alpha and you get better in society, and you honestly beat other guys, the happier you're gonna be, the higher your testosterone is. The happier you're going to be, and the higher your testosterone is going to increase. Peterson says that a pretty fast way to implement this, and to fast track our journey to becoming more alpha and to get to the top of society, is to already assume the body language of a guy who's confident and who's up there already. So many guys you will see just with the body language of just defeat, anxiousness, neuroticism. They'll just be there, just like, head down. Like, I always just see them just indulging in their phone, at some bus stop or so. I just see, like, kids, like, teenagers sat there. You can't see it right now, but I just see them like this, like, using their phone like this. Head down, curled up like a C-shaped body like this. And, oh, shit. When you have that weak and quite small body language, people are automatically going to see you and identify you as the guy who's going to be down there. Because think about it, this is a total evolutionary trait inside of us. We don't neurotically think about body language and, that guy's got really good body language, so he's got to be like an alpha male. We don't think that exactly. But just something clicks into our brain in the first impression that we make of someone, which is made within like a second, by the way. The first impression that we make of someone is built up, and we kind of assume where he is in the social hierarchy. And if you see some guy come in and he looks like a little bit of a nerd and he's got poor body language, you're not going to straight away think, I bet he's the alpha male. I bet he fucks a lot of women. I bet he's so rich. Of course not. You're going to think, he's probably a nerd. He's probably plays video games. He's down there. But imagine you see a confident looking guy with almost like this military style, disciplined body language walk in. You're going to think, oh shit, okay, well, that guy's got to be a little bit higher. He's got to be disciplined. He's probably got the respect of other men. Look at him like stand up like he actually like owns the place. And instantly, when your first impression is made of him, you know what's very interesting? You'll actually go and treat him like that. You see, altering your body language is one of the fastest ways to get people to treat you better. Now, the issue is that if you alter your body language around people who already know you, it will seem as fake and manipulative, and they'll just like think, okay, what is he doing? Whatever, you're still the chump, right? But the first time that someone sees you, if you've got better body language, like someone new sees you, when their judgment is made of you within a second, bro. They're literally judging you entirely of just how you look. And of course, how attractive you are, your style, the way you look is quite important. But literally just the size of you and just your body language and the way you present yourself is going to be a huge part of someone's perception of you. So next time you walk into a room and there's new people that you've never seen there before, why allow their initial first impression of you to be the guy who's slumped over, and instantly they're going to think that you're down here, and if they think that you're down there, they're going to just end up treating you that way. You don't want that. Walk in with some confidence. They're going to see you there with their first impression, and the way that they talk to you and the way that they speak to you is going to be like as if you're up there anyway, which is going to help you to improve faster. Treat yourself. The second rule from Jordan Peterson is to treat yourself as if you are someone that you're responsible for helping. So in other words, just be kind to yourself as if you're your own best friend. What would you say to yourself? Imagine you're stuck in a rut right now. Like imagine you're stuck with this addiction to video games or porn. What would you say to your best friend, and how would you help your best friend navigate that? You wouldn't call your best friend a piece of shit, would you? If you were like, you're really like a good best friend of yours, not like, some prick that you don't even like, but like a guy that you really care about. Like imagine your son, imagine your future son. You wouldn't like scream at him and say he's a bad person for being addicted to, an addictive substance, would you? Like we know porn's so fucking addictive. We know video games are so addictive. We wouldn't think that our son who's succumbed to the addictions of these platforms was a bad person. We would try to help him, wouldn't we? And yet when you talk to yourself in your own mind, you belittle yourself and you have these beliefs of negativity and this like self-deprecation. How about you actually treat yourself as someone that you like? This may be one of the most important rules in the book, and also just things to keep in mind in general. I say this so often, but the beliefs that you have about yourself largely make up your life. It is of utmost importance that you investigate the beliefs that have been implanted into your mind by your parents, your teachers, by society, by your childhood years. Because maybe your parents put this belief into your mind that you're a piece of shit. Maybe they criticized you when you were struggling with a problem. You were struggling with studying and you got poor grades and you needed extra support. And your parents shouted at you and said you're a bad person, that you're lazy, that you procrastinate. And it seems, okay, well, they said that because you're lazy and you procrastinate. And so they're just observing something. But the thing is, whatever your parents said to you when you were a child deeply shapes how you become when you're older. So if you had a parent who said, oh yeah, little Jeffrey's really lazy. Oh, you always procrastinate. That's going to be so deeply inside of you, like a belief that shapes your identity, that even decades later, you may be more lazy, you may procrastinate more than you actually should, just because it's kind of assumed in your identity that that's what you do. Mark my words that improving your identity or changing it entirely is one of the fastest ways to improve yourself. If you really want to put your self-improvement on the fast track, spend some time right here, right now, and think of what your identity is. Because if you don't see yourself as an athlete, why wouldn't you? Right here, right now, why wouldn't you just choose to just identify as an athlete? Bro, I will look at you today. I am an athlete. I am a leader. I am successful, I am confident, I am happy. And I'm not saying these fake affirmations like some girls seem to do, that they'll stare at themselves in the mirror and say like, yeah, I'm a high value woman. I didn't suck off 20 guys when I was growing. Like, I'm not talking about affirmation like this fake shit. Change your fucking identity to the thing that you actually want to be. No. update your identity to a new realistic endeavor. If you've been like getting into the gym for the past few months and you've been dieting and you've been learning about macros and protein and you've been going into the gym and hurting your fucking muscle for months or maybe years, you are an athlete. But if you still see yourself as a video gamer, as you still see yourself as like a little nerd who barely gets off his computer chair, well then you're going to always have this level of friction because you're not aligning yourself to your identity. The moment I said to myself, I am an athlete, I started waking up at 5 every single day, running to the gym in pitch black darkness and training, no problem. I got shredded out of nowhere and I was struggling like with binge eating and my weight for like literally a year straight. Like that, boom, I'm an athlete. And no thanks. I don't eat that junk food anymore. Alarms on at 5 a.m. because I'm an athlete. That's what athletes do. I wake up early and I go and exercise. I like exercise because I'm an athlete. I'm a leader. You know how many guys think that it's like cringe or obnoxious that I call myself a leader? And the thing is, they might be right. Maybe I'm not like a great leader or something. But the thing is, it's only going to help me if I see myself with that identity. So when someone tries to call me out for like the identity that I have for myself, and I genuinely think I'm one of the best leaders of our entire generation. Name another guy who's 20 to 25 years old who's leading as many guys as I am. I may be literally the best leader of our entire generation. Of course, there's people who are older than me who've got more influence, absolutely. But of guys who are about 20 years old, pick out another guy. There's probably not. And so I have the identity that I'm literally the best leader of our generation. And that helps me take this shit seriously. That helps me wake up at 5 or 4:30 every morning. The first thing that I do is hop onto Discord and talk to one of my boys, one of my followers. The first thing that I do every single day. Name another guy who does that. So I have the identity that I am the best leader of our generation. And that helps me deeply. So what is your identity? Because whatever you want to accomplish, whatever it is that you want good grades, you want to get a girl, you want to get really athletic and get really in shape, you want to make a lot of money. Trust me when I say that if those things are not aligned to your identity, you're not going to make any real progress at all. If you keep finding yourself, trying to do the habits, meditating, reading, whatever, and you do them a little bit, then you just snap back to this like starting point. You just keep going back to this fucking degenerate days of you just like, hopping on your computer and just searching for more answers, staying on like this crusty computer chair, jacking off every couple of days, wasting time here and there on video games. I'm telling you right now, it's because this is your identity. You'll always fall to where your identity is. I'm spending so much time on this topic because you must take this seriously. Whatever your identity is, that's going to be your baseline. And you will fall to your baseline thousands, tens of thousands of times over the rest of your life. So why not change your baseline instead of changing the activities and the habits that you do? Because updating your habits is nice. Getting into meditation is nice. Getting into journaling is nice. But those things are useless if you haven't changed your identity. Take some time right now. What is your identity and what is the identity that you need to reach the goals that you have? You need to become... It's not the things that you need to do. It's who you need to become. Make sure you change that. The third rule from Jordan Peterson is to make friends with people who want the best for you. There's a video on my second channel, Hamza Unfiltered, and it's titled, They're Not Your Friends. The video's almost got 1 million views. You might want to go and watch that. I'll just leave this entire section for that video because I've explained the whole concept in detail there. The fourth rule for life by Jordan Peterson is to compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not to other people. This is something that I think a lot of people take the wrong way. A lot of people in this modern day, especially men, have become so feminine and so weak that they've started to overlook the importance of confidence. Have become so weak that they've started to overlook the importance of competition. When Peterson says this, don't compare yourself to someone else. And when you hear these like big, like masculine type of guys say, oh, I don't compare myself to anyone else. They're not talking about it in the same way that you think. There's a difference between comparing yourself to someone else and competing with someone else. Competing with someone else is absolutely essential. If you say to yourself right here, right now, that I'm not in competition with anyone else, I guarantee you won't become that successful soon. It's competition that makes a young man wake up early because he has an enemy to work towards. We need an enemy. We need someone to beat. When I've got someone to beat so clearly in my mind, bro, I can't help but wake up at 4 a.m. I can't help but like have this level of aggression that I'm going to take over. I'm going to take what they've got. But comparing yourself to someone else, that's a bad thing. Comparing yourself is literally you seeing someone else and thinking that Comparing yourself is literally you seeing someone else and feeling bad that you are not that person. This is comparing your comparing com, comparison comes from this like inferior position of like, oh yeah, like I'm not so great and that guy's so great, so I feel even worse. And you're like looking down the social hierarchy, like thinking, oh yeah, I'm so bad, I'm not as good as that guy. That's a very bad trait. It comes often from social media, because when you're on social media, you can't help but compare yourself. The thing is, when you're on scrolling on social media, your brain isn't stuck in like competitive mode, so you're literally just scrolling, seeing someone better than you, and quickly your brain compares your. So you're literally just scrolling, you see someone better than you, who's richer than you, who's got a better physique than you, who's got a girlfriend and you don't, and your brain instantly just compares your life to his, shows that he's way better than you. It's like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm a piece of shit then. And like we just said in the first point, when you know that you're quite low down in the social hierarchy, your happiness, your dopamine, your serotonin, your testosterone all goes down. You don't want to compare yourself to someone else, but what you do want to do is see someone who's somewhat similar to you, not way better, but someone similar, and think to yourself, yeah, I could be better than him. There's a difference. Comparison is like a very negative, self-deprecating mindset, and competition is an aggressive mindset. Be competitive, don't compare. That's a good. This is an interesting one. Dun, 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 dun. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. Number 5, do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. This is a tricky one because I'm a big believer that traumatizing and abusing your children is not good. And that seems like common sense, right? Essentially, this rule of life for this rule for life from Jordan Peterson, and I might be taking this out of context, maybe he'll explain it better than I can, but I think this is referring to not becoming like your child's friend. So of course, we're kind of young right now, okay, but when we go and have children, the modern day around us is raising children to be very weak and protected. And if a child does something like swear at their parents, which is a normal thing that's happening these days, bro, in some cultures, like I don't want to be racist, but it seems to be just like white parents and white parents raise their kids to just, it's okay to swear at them for some reason, bro. You never see that in a fucking like minority household ever. I don't know what's happening in like the fucking godless West degenerates here, but it's like it's okay for children here to literally swear at their parents, to scream at them, to tell them to fuck off and stuff, bro. The few times I've ever swore at my parents, I got my ass beat, and I'm kind of glad that I did. It traumatized. Look, you know what? You know what's very interesting? The times that I look back and I've actually been traumatized, like fully, like I've like, I don't say this to be like some mental health victim or some shit, like, oh, I've got trauma, but like I've literally like scientifically got fucking proof that I've like have trauma from my childhood. The few times that I can remember that I totally got traumatized was not from times where I kind of deserve to be disciplined. This is very interesting, and I don't think anyone's talked about this, and I'll very briefly go, and I'll very briefly go over it here. Maybe I should make another video. From what I can think right now, the times that I most like dislike my parents, and the times that I look back with so much, like, it's built up like anger and like sort of these flashbacks and everything, which encapsulate trauma, is the times when it was out of place for me to be disciplined like that. So it was the time that, me and my brother were like shouting at each other a little bit, then my dad comes in and aggressively hurts us. That's really bad. Where it was suddenly, and it wasn't deserved. Whereas the times that I think about, the times where I kind of deserved to be disciplined, that never traumatized me, even though I still got like abused in that sense. The issue is that I think most parents have this all flipped. We see a lot of parents in this modern day who don't discipline their children at all because they think like, oh, children are so sensitive and we can't like risk traumatizing them. And you should not traumatize your children, but I think there's a fine line that if you let your child, quite frankly, act like a prick, if you're not going to discipline your child, eventually the world's going to discipline him. And that's going to be a way harsher lesson. And we're seeing that today with when I look at like 18-year-olds today, 16-year-olds today, 20-year-olds, a lot of them are just like I don't want to be horrible, but a lot of them are literally just like so weird. Coming from like an Asian household, coming from like a Muslim household where I got slapped, I got beat. The thing is, I don't think those things are good either. But look at like the man I've become today. I've become disciplined. I've become like self-regulating. Whereas I see children today that never got disciplined when they should have. I used to see kids like literally scream and swear at their parents. And they're just weirdly addicted to instant gratification. It's like if a parent tried to become their child's friend, that child ends up turning into a total fucking degenerate who goes to the pub 3 times a week to drink pints here. If you want your child to become like that, yeah, be easy on them. Be nice on them. I don't think you should physically harm your children ever. But I think that your children should feel very disciplined by you. And I'm just going to be totally honest, I don't really know how to navigate that sort of dichotomy just yet, but I am sort of wanting to look into that. But I will not have children who are fucking spoiled brats. I will not have children who bro, fuck me, imagine ever swearing at your parent, bro. You need to discipline your child, and you need to not expect to be your child's friend. I will say this right now, this might seem weird, bro. I will not be my children's friend. They will not see me as their friend. People see this, people think that this is weird when I say this about my girl. We're not friends. I call her my girl and not my girlfriend. We even like cringe at the term girlfriend, boyfriend. We're not friends. I know that he's talking about children in this rule for life, but you must understand that there's people who you can be very close to who don't have to be your friend. Me and my girl, I love her so much, she's not my friend at all. That's fucking that's weird. Maybe that seems weird to you right now, thinking like, hey, why don't you just say you're friends? But that's bro. Once you get a little bit more knowledgeable on once you get a little bit more knowledgeable on the masculine energy, you realize you don't need to be friends with a girl for her to respect you and love you and actually to have an amazing time with her. If anything, honestly, I think our relationship's so fucking good because we're not friends. Because if we were, I would have lost attraction to her and she would have lost attraction to me, which is what happens in all these fucking relationships where, oh, we're like best friends, we spend all day talking to each other. Fuck off. The fuck you on about? I won't be offensive, maybe that's what some people's preference is. But with these parents who want to be their children's best friend, you usually see this with like degenerate parents who didn't even want to have their children at that age, and they end up wanting to become friends with their children because they want to live vicariously through them. So you'd see this with the overbearing mother who like wants the boy to essentially turn into like a little pussy, and he like, you know, to keep him like nice and safe and secure. Or you see this with the thought kind of mother who then encourages her daughter to like, you know, dress up and be really pretty and put on loads of makeup and go out, yeah, just go fuck some guys, it's okay, like, because she's living vicariously through that. Maybe I've got this all wrong because this is something I've not totally researched enough just yet, and maybe we can go find like, you know, what Peterson's actually said, and maybe some people will comment and say, oh no, he meant to say something else. But I'm pretty sure it just means like, be a parent, be a role model, be like a disciplined figure, be a masculine father, not a friend. Don't be a fucking pushover, because this is quite, it's a fucking red pill, bro. But the girls that I've dated before my current relationship, and I always observe their parents, and when I see one, her dad's not in the house because the parents are, I'm like, okay, come on. But two, when I see that when I see that her dad is like her friend, and he's like a little pussy, and he's like kind of feminine, and he's not masculine, I know for a fact that she's gonna have problems. And like, I've left relationships, handful of relationships, just because I've seen that her parents are like her friends, and it's just like this weird fucked up dynamic where I start seeing like her mother's gonna encourage her to be a thought because her mother's like living vicariously through her party days and stuff, and her dad's just being like a little feminine pushover. You can't be parents like that. Rule number 6, set your house in perfect order. Rule number 6, set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. And this is something that I really had to do. So I made my YouTube channel in May 2020, and I only actually started posting videos after I had implemented the things that I was speaking about. I saw at the time, and I don't want to call people out, but I saw YouTubers at the time make videos, and I could tell for a fact they weren't even talking. Bro, someone said this yesterday, bro. I was on a video call with one of my followers. So every morning I go onto my big Discord server and I take like a video call for 20 minutes or something with one of my boys. And he said this word that really made me happy. He said like, oh yeah, you came in and changed the self-improvement game because it was just trash before you. And I don't want to put down any of the creators because they're still kind of around. Like, but all of the YouTubers who were here before me making kind of self-improvement videos, like, I don't think any of them really had integrity. I would watch like these self-improvement gurus and stuff and these productivity guys. You're probably like, you know, these big productivity channels of like these guys wearing clean shirts and stuff, and none of them literally like, just none of them were masculine at all. They were all like these fucking little skinny guys talking about discipline and talking about productivity. And I was just thinking, bro, how are you teaching me about productivity if you don't even go to the gym? You're teaching me about productivity. If you're not consistent in the gym, shut the fuck up, bro. Honestly, shut the fuck up. If you're not jacked, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But if you're not consistently exercising, which is a fundamental need for men, for humans, if you're not exercising, bro, shut up trying to preach to anyone else. That was the big push. When I saw all these fucking YouTubers who were just either they didn't exercise or they weren't even like confident or social with girls, like they were so awkward around, you could tell that they were kind of awkward around girls, or they weren't even that successful. You could just tell that they had no integrity of the things that they were preaching. I came in as a fucking disciplined guy who was quite literally spending 0 seconds on video games, 0 seconds on porn, 0 seconds on social media, 0 seconds on Netflix, everything to change the fucking self-improvement space entirely. At least on YouTube, of course, you know, self-improvement's massive in books and everything, and I'm going to transform that era soon as well. But I came in and changed the shit, and the reason why we popped off so much is because people could come in and literally say, you know what, this guy's kind of extreme. He's saying never to play video games. He's saying never to take drugs and stuff. But you know what? There was no one who looked at me and thought, oh, I bet he doesn't preach the things that he's talking about. Because you could tell by the way that I talk and by just somehow you could tell that I was telling the truth. You could tell that when I was speaking about discipline, that I was a disciplined guy. You could tell that when I would tell you of the stories that, yeah, every single morning I wake up at 5 a.m. to work, or every single morning I wake up at 5 a.m. and if it's dark, if it's raining, if it's cold, I don't care. I will go outside for like a 1, 2, 3 mile run with a weighted backpack, eventually get to a tree where I'll set up and start exercising in pitch black. You knew that I was telling the truth. And that's why we built up such a loyal fan base, because for the first time in like the YouTube self-improvement space, there was actually someone who had the integrity to follow the things that he was putting onto you. Because before, there's all these like little productivity guys talking about, oh, here's the best productivity techniques and here's dopamine detox. It's like, bro, shut up. Don't you fucking tell people about dopamine detoxing when you still fucking play video games and you've got a self-improvement channel. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Don't talk about like, oh, I tried Marcus Aurelius's morning. Just shut up, bro. All of these guys were making videos for the sake of making videos just because they wanted to be YouTubers. I was already doing this shit in the silence, like in the dark first. Literally, physically, like actually literally in the dark. And then I came onto YouTube and just started posting my learning lessons. And from there, we blew the fuck up because you needed someone with authenticity. The same with David Goggins. He came in this sort of niche of like fitness and stuff. And this was a guy who had credibility and a reputation of like, oh shit, he is the real deal. He popped off. Andrew Tate came in. He is the real deal. He popped off. You see this rise of this like masculine, disciplined guy come in, like you just see them pop the fuck off and get 1 million subscribers, 2 million, 5 million. Tate becomes the most Google search person in the world. Goggins goes absolutely viral because you could see some level of integrity with these guys. When you see these self-improvement YouTubers who don't even have a muscular physique and they don't even consistently go to the gym and they're like, oh, well, I just don't even like it. Like, that's why people don't respect you. But I'm talking about them. That's why I'm sure that this is why our rise to like this level of success has been so fucking consistent. If you go and like see some graph of our subscriber count, literally, it's not like some like, you know, or some some lucky day or something. You will literally see that it's literally just a consistent graph like this. For the last 1.5 years, we've had about 1,000 subscribers every single day at least. Some days it's been up to 7K. Think about that. Because people can actually see that my house is in order when I preach these things. When I come onto the camera and I tell you about dopamine detoxing and I tell you don't use TikTok, I don't use it. I don't have any bad apps on my phone. When I tell you stop wasting time, when I tell you stop watching porn and jacking off, you can tell that I'm a guy who doesn't even do that shit. And that's why my message seems to resonate with so many guys. Whew. Top G. Rule number 7, pursue what is meaningful. Okay. Rule number 7, pursue what is meaningful. Maybe you're watching this video right now and you're a young man and you're not very certain on what path to take forward, especially when it comes to your financial success. Maybe you're studying right now, maybe you're considering a couple of different businesses, maybe you want to maybe consider this career. You know, there's so many options that you can do as a young man, and you may as well try all of them, right? So young men will often come to me and say, okay, I'm trying this business and this business and this business, and I'm also studying and this and this and this and this. And they're trying like 5, 10 different things at once, at least 3 things at once, right? And that's not very, good to do. It's better to try one thing at once and, really just like give it your all and stuff. But they ask me like, how should you know what to spend your time on? How should you know what to dedicate your life to? I want to be a dropshipper. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to start SMMA and, all these different businesses, or I want to try this career or this one or this one. I tell them, the reason why you're confused and you've got this decision fatigue of all these different pathways is because you're thinking entirely of the reward that you would get from these. Because when you think of the reward, what you want, well, then you can consider being a YouTuber because you'll get money, success, freedom. You could consider being a author because you get money, success, freedom. You could consider becoming any number of things because you get money, success, and do you know what I mean? That like if you just think totally of the things that you want, the rewards that you want, well, any endeavor is probably going to eventually make you money, or eventually get you freedom, or eventually get you status. You need to consider what is meaningful. You need to consider what is meaningful. You need to consider what you need to sacrifice. You need to consider what you'll need to sacrifice, and the problems that you'll need to go through, the pain that you'll need to go through to achieve success in an endeavor. So Peterson says, choose what is meaningful. Don't choose what will just give you a reward of money or something. Choose what actually means something to you. Don't just go with the hype. For me, it was always going to be YouTube, and it's interesting that I pursued YouTube at a time when everyone was talking about how oversaturated it was. I shouldn't have started a YouTube channel if I listened to this advice, but I did it because it was meaningful to me. I did it because I love this process and the pain of having to set up the camera, speak to the camera, and sometimes mess up my words, but hopefully just send like a message out there to people all around the world. I did it because that means a lot to me. You need to figure out right here, right now, what means more to you. Because there's so many different things that you can pursue for the rest of your life. And so many guys just get this decision fatigue, weighing up so many different options because they only think about like, oh, well, I could make money from this, or I could make money from this. That's not going to help. You need to ask yourself right now, let's say you've got 2 choices that you could make right now, right? You need to ask yourself, in which of these choices will be the pain that I actually want to experience for the rest of my life? Rule number 8, tell the truth, or at least don't lie. Honesty is a very, very important trait, and it means a lot to me. Honesty is like one of my core values, and that I haven't done like some geeky practice to like figure out my core values. It's just I've always known that like I'm a very brutally honest person. I've come to the camera and literally told you times that I've totally fucked up. I've told you crimes that I've committed. I've told you literally just total honesty. Now, what I really like is he's wrote, at least don't lie. And that's actually so interesting that this is like the rule, at least don't lie, because that's exactly what I followed. I will say honest things, but if there's a time when I think that honesty may be not the best answer, I just won't lie, but I won't exactly bluntly tell you something. I won't go over exactly what situation this has happened to me in, because obviously then I'll eventually tell like the truth, which I didn't want to tell in this situation, but I won't lie about it. You need to become a trustworthy person. And more than being trustworthy to other people, ask yourself right now, do you trust yourself? Or do you lie to yourself? Do you honestly, like, perhaps this is way more important than the ability to have people to trust you. Ask yourself right now, do you trust yourself? If you tell yourself right now, like, oh, I'm a little bit tired, but like I'll do the work tomorrow, or oh, I'll go to the gym tomorrow. Do you believe your own lie? Or are you lying to yourself to begin with? When you say something like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow, is that a quick lie that you're just putting in to make yourself feel comfortable and then go back to playing fucking video games, or waste time that you didn't do the productive thing today? How often do you lie to yourself? Why not just tell the truth? Why not just, like, instead of saying, oh, you know, I'll do it, why not just tell the truth and say, oh, yeah, I fucked up today. I procrastinated. I made a big mistake. Let's see what I can do tomorrow. Boom. It's a slight difference. But too many guys just lie to themselves. They lie to other people. And you just get seen as this, like, person of low status. No one can respect you when you lie to them. How many guys here have lied to themselves recently? Spam 1 if you lie to yourself, and spam 2 if you always tell the truth to yourself. Rule number 9, assume the other person knows something that you don't. I like to think of this rule more in the lines of communication and social skills that we've learned from Dale Carnegie's book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. This is the concept of always thinking that no matter who you're talking to, they have some hidden gems, some knowledge inside of their brain that you don't know, that you could heavily benefit from in any situation, whether it's you just want to learn from them or you kind of need the truth from them. You should always assume that this other person has some kind of expertise that you'll eventually be interested in. Because if you pass a very quick judgment of someone, you can miss out on so many opportunities. Oftentimes, I'm not gonna lie, like, I feel like people may feel this way about me. I don't present myself in the best way. I'm a lot more, I sound like a dick, but like I'm a lot more successful than I actually look like. Because I like being kind of like, just not normal, but I like being just like low key. Like I wear a fucking bathrobe in my videos. When I go out, I'm not wearing expensive clothes. I don't have like expensive shit or anything. And I often feel like, oftentimes, like, I'm not even that well groomed, or like, and I like being a bit like wild and unkept. Like, it's just like my sort of personality and stuff. Oftentimes I actually kind of feel like sometimes there's people who don't even realize like the person I am, just because they were kind of closed off with their initial first impression. You see like this angry guy in a bathroom and you think, oh yeah, he's just like, you know, some retard or something. Like, but I'm actually a good guy, bro. If you imagine me on the street, not for you, but like, imagine some random guy walks past me. If you imagine me on the street and imagine some like random girl walks past me, or some random guy walks past me, and they don't even know who I am, right? They might walk past, or, you know, we might have like a very small conversation, and they might not actually know who I am or of the global movement that I'm leaving, and they might not actually even find out who I am or the global movement that I'm leading here. Like, someone may actually get into a conversation with me, not even ask the kind of questions that would eventually get, like, you know, this kind of open big thing of like, yeah, like, what I do for work is lead our generation of men. That blows my mind when I speak to someone and I'm asking them questions, I'm getting to know them, and I leave the conversation like a little bit, you know, sad, upset, because they didn't take that much of an interest in me. But I almost like think their social skills weren't that great, because I think like, how did you not even get to the point of the conversation where you ask me a question of like, you know, what I do for work and the fact that this is like such a big thing here? Oftentimes, like, you'll end up speaking to someone that you just see is just weirdly not intelligent when it comes to social skills, and I really hope that's not you. When you speak to someone, just imagine to yourself, this person probably has such a huge fucking gem, just like Hamza may do from some random girl who speaks to him but never even finds out that he's like a YouTuber with 1 million subscribers, with thousands of guys who have told him that, you know, he saved their lives and everything. Some people will just pass judgment on you and never even try to find out like part of your life story, and it's kind of sad because this is how we connect with people. I hope that when I eventually speak to you, if you join our Discord server, if you come to the meetups that I host quite regularly, like around the world when I'm flying around and stuff, I hope that at the time I have the awareness and the patience and the social skills to get to know you as a person, and to always keep in my mind that you have something in your mind that I would love to hear about. Thank you, Sebastian. Be precise in your speech. Dun, 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 dun. Rule number 10, be precise in your speech. Interestingly, I'm pretty sure that Peterson wasn't just talking about like the length of, your sentences. So he said, oh, you really use short sentences and be precise. I think he was more talking about being more upfront with the things that you're saying. So I could have this wrong, but from my memory from this one, he more said that we should be precise in the sense that if there is something to say, we should say it as fast as possible instead of waiting around and holding our tongue. When something bothers you and you get this thought of there'll be a thought in your brain of something that you need to bring up to this person. They've maybe upset you, they've disrespected you, or you need to call them out, and you need to like challenge them a little bit. You need to tell them that something bothers you. You need to hold your hand up and tell them something bothers you. You need to do that as fast as possible because a lot of people hold their tongue. A lot of people just stay silent and they're not precise. I think this is what he means. Maybe he just meant like, oh yeah, use shorter sentences, which I will use shorter sentences. Nah, I don't think he meant that, but yeah. Holding your tongue and not holding your tongue and not being upfront with the things you need to say to someone often leads to long-term resentment. And this is like it means a lot to me. Maybe it would for you, especially when you start dating, when you realize that you're dating a girl who's kind of holding something in her mind, and she's unhappy about something and she won't be able to open up to you and tell you. You realize how negative of like a personality trait that really is. Like she's listening right now. You realize how negative of a personality, because you want someone to be precise. If there's something that bothers you, speak to me as fast as possible, because if you don't, imagine if my girl doesn't, right? Imagine I've done something that pisses her off or something, and she's a feminine woman, so of course her moods go all over the place, which is normal, and it's my job as a masculine man to kind of weather the storm. But imagine that she feels unhappy with me for some reason, but then she's not precise with her speech and she doesn't bring it up to me for some time. Well, then she spent 12 hours being unhappy with me. And that's not right. It's not right for her if she feels negative, but it's also not right for me because now I'm thinking, okay, my girl's just felt negative about me all day. It's like, that's not a good thing, because eventually, marriages go on like this, where both people hold their tongue. They're not precise with their speech. They just resent each other. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you see this with your parents. They've just got this resentment for each other for the last 10 years. And you know why it started? Because your mum was slightly pissed off that your dad came home 15 minutes late 10 years ago, and she's built that slightly resentment. Imagine this like little bit of resentment is inside of her for 10 years, and it's never been dealt with. She was not precise with her speech and did not bring it up to him, so they didn't resolve it. And then another thing, one time he was a little bit rude and he didn't say thank you when he made food. And another thing, people hold up so much built up resentment, and in the end, this absolutely makes people so not hostile, but just like passively aggressive to each other. Eventually they just don't even fucking like each other. You probably see this with your parents, and it's so fucking sad. I wish you could just tell them, like, why don't you just bring it up? But now it's too late. Now it's like, how's she gonna bring up? How's your mum gonna bring up? Like, oh, your dad came home like 20 minutes later. He said he'd be home at like 5 p.m., but he came home at 5:15 in 2010. You can't bring up something that old now, can you? But it's like, you needed to bring it up straight away. If there's something in your mind that needs to be resolved, you must do this. And trust me, I have been so bad with this. There's been times where I've needed to like have a conversation with someone to, for example, even say something like, okay, that wasn't right, that was disrespectful, or even to girls to like break up with them and stuff. And there's been times where I've just dragged on that conversation for so long. Even with firing people, I've fired a couple of employees, and even with that, it's like I'll drag it on for an extra week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, months. Sometimes I've literally dragged on firing someone for months, and that's just making me resent them. That now anytime they submit some work, I'm like, just being pissed off towards this guy. I should have just done it fast. If there's something that you need to bring up with someone, be precise. Rule number 11, do not Rule number 11, do not bother children whilst they're skateboarding. I want you to imagine right now that there's a bunch of kids just having a really good time. They're learning to like skate, and there were some like older kids who were teaching them like kick flips or some shit. They're all there in the skate park. It's all so fun together. And just randomly, like some weird woman just comes in and starts screaming at him and says, that's dangerous, you're not wearing a helmet, like, you know, just gets aggressive. And you might have had this, if you can think back to some times in childhood, you might have had something similar to this, where someone just came in and just bothered you and you were having fun, of the guise that what you were doing was too dangerous. What happened? How did you feel towards that person? How do you feel when your mum just nags you again and again and again about the thing that you're doing that could be dangerous? You could, oh, you know, like, stop leaning. Remember, like, were you in school and you used to lean back on your chair like this, and the fucking dumbass teacher was, oh, don't lean backwards in your chair, like, if you fall back and crack your head, like, shut up. Let me just, I feel cool when I lean back in my chair like this, man. Come on. Like, if I fall backwards, it's on me. And it would be my learning lesson, wouldn't it? Imagine if I was in high school and I'm leaning back on my chair. What is the correct way for me to find out that leaning back on your chair could result in some kind of injury? Well, maybe one day I'll lean back too much and I'll hurt myself slightly, you know, I'll fall over. I won't crack my fucking skull or something. I'll fall backwards and it'll be really scary because I fell backwards and I might get a little bit injured. For years, maybe for the rest of my life after that, I would know that that's an activity that led to some kind of pain and I would probably not do it again. But when some teacher, some parent figure tells you, oh, don't do that, you can't really respect them and you can't take it seriously. This is something that I think so many modern parents, especially the kind of parents who's like, I'll say that again. This is something that I think so many modern parents need to hear. It's okay for your children to experience some injuries, and trying to protect them from every injury possible is actually probably going to do them more harm than good. Because the thing is, a child falls off their bike and scrapes their knees, bro, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. Because after that, he's going to get a sense of like, okay, I did this thing and that resulted in an injury. So, you know, they're going to be a little bit scared, but they'll get back to it. They'll get back onto the bike and they won't do that thing again. What you need, which is, my dad did this perfectly. You need a dad who has this kind of like, just, no, it's fine. No, you're fine. You're fine. I fell off my bike, like, you know, really bad. I've got cuts on my arm or something. It's like, oh, he'd say or do like, oh, chalo tika, like nothing happened. It's okay. It's okay. What do you think my mum did? Oh my god! And of course, I can't blame her. You know, that's what mothers do. That's what especially feminine women do. Like they see their child bleeding, and they can't help it, right? A feminine woman cannot help literally this maternal instinct of like, oh fuck, like that's my child, and oh my god. But a masculine man, which hopefully you had that as your father figure, will just see you and like hopefully he's more in control of the situation, and he'll say no. Like you want your dad to look at you and say like, no, he's fine. He's fine. Because what's going to happen to you after that? What's going to happen to the pain that you feel after that? Well, daddy said I'm fine. Come on, son, let's go try it again. But this time, don't go too far on that side. What you did wrong was this. How about next time you just don't do that again? That's a learning lesson for the rest of your life. Think about how valuable that experience is. And in this weird day, they're trying to protect kids from that. Sure, there's a short-term pain and a bit of a scare, but they're trying to protect kids from a long-term life lesson. Just because the parents and the teachers and the society is so fucking weak that we need to protect children from all kinds of pain. Is it abusive if I tell you, bro, I've already visualized me and my son, my future son, we're going to have a picture together, which I already know is going to get me cancelled. Me and my son are going to have a picture together. It's going to be me and him smiling, and he's got a bloodied nose. And the caption is going to be something like, we just did like Muay Thai training today and he didn't keep his hands up. Any masculine man watching that would be like, oh shit, like, that's actually really respectful. And all these fucking like weird people, like these modern people would be, oh my god, Hamza abused his son. No, if my son doesn't keep his hands up when we're training martial arts, like, yeah, I will pop his nose a little bit. But that's not me, oh my god, he's so abusive. How do you think he's going to learn? He's going to remember that memory for the rest of his life and keep his hands up. Like when we're, you know, training a disciplined sport. The same, like, bro, when my son's like going on a bike and, you know, like for the first time he's learning how to ride, I'll be there with him. He'll have like a helmet and stuff. But when he falls over, I'm going to smile when he scrapes his knee. And if you think I'm crazy, if there's someone watching this thinking that I'm crazy or abusive or like weird for this, I speak to that person directly. If you're watching this right now and you think that I'm abusive for the things that I've just said, you will go on to raise absolute fucking pussies. You will go on to raise cowards and you will feel good about it because your little boy will be protected. Your little boy will be one of these like single mother raised boys who ends up being addicted to video games, who ends up jacking off so many times and ends up feeling so depressed and lonely that he can't attract any girls because he's not masculine because he's not masculine at all. That's what we're seeing today. That's what we're seeing with the rise of like single mother households, which don't have this masculine father figure saying, "Oh, it's okay, look, he's fine." So now we have these boys who are getting boo-boos. You know, like when you, as a child, you hurt yourself. Oh, he's got a boo-boo. We're getting boys with boo-boos, and they don't have the masculine father figure telling them like it's okay. So all they're hearing from their mum is all this shrieking. And so now this child's fucking traumatized because mummy's saying it's this bad, so it should be bad. I'll never skate again because it's really scary. Can you think back to a memory that you've got right now of a time that this has happened to you? Maybe your dad wasn't around for whatever reason, and it was just your mother's sort of feminine sort of like, fear and pain. And suddenly, if you can really think back, bro, this would be so interesting. Think back to the time that this happened and ask yourself, what is your relationship with the activity that caused that injury, that boo-boo? Because let's say if it was, you tried skateboarding or something. Did you stop skateboarding? Did you stop skateboarding shortly after that? I wouldn't be surprised if you did. I'm so grateful that I had a masculine father who taught me how to ride a bike and not my mother. Honestly. Because I started riding a bike when I was like 10 years old and I fell over a bunch of times, and it's so fucking painful. It's a child, it's so, he's crying and stuff. My dad's words always in my mind. Chalo tika, kuch bhi nahi hai, which means no, it's fine. Oh, it's nothing. When your dad says that, and you're a little boy who respects his dad and looks up to him, when daddy says it's okay, well then yeah, well it's okay. And so many kids these days, especially boys, are raised without father figures, and so all they're hearing is this feminine fucking shriek, and now they never go on bikes ever again. And so you see all these guys who are in a state of comfort. Well, what do? Because they're not allowed to play out, it's too dangerous. They're not allowed to go on bikes, it's too dangerous. Well, they end up being fucking recluses, and they end up, the only thing that they can do is stay at home and play video games because their mom thinks that that's safe enough. Then he turns into a fucking coward watching porn, watching another man fuck the woman that he wants. And he wishes he could be that masculine guy. And he watches shit like fucking UFC, hoping that, vicariously living through masculine men who are getting bloodied up, and he's getting this sense of masculine aggression. But he can't do it himself. Daddy. Pet a cat. And finally, rule number 12, pet a cat when you see them on the street. And finally, the 12th rule for life from Jordan Peterson is to pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. He writes that the world is full of cruelty and negativity, and so when there is an opportunity to just take some time to experience some pleasantness, like petting a little cat which you might see on the street, or for me, I really like observing nature. Sometimes, I mentioned you go for a walk through a park right now, there's trees outside. A lot of people just kind of see the trees, yeah, whatever. But sometimes I like really observing trees and leaves, and actually really in awe looking at nature, giving it so much more attention, to the point that I'll walk up to a tree and literally look at its bark and stuff, and doing that just makes me feel alive sometimes. It makes me feel connected to this earth. Because if you don't do these things and you go about your day just commuting to work, this grey, dull commute to work, going to work, press the buttons, or go to school and just pretend to be focused on writing and stuff whilst you're thinking of Minecraft. Then you come back home, you're just commuting, then just distracted by playing video games and shit, or just work all day. You never get to experience this small burst of pleasantness by just doing something wholesome. When you see a little cat or whatever, or even a bird, sometimes I'll literally just look at a bird, I'll just watch a bird, and I don't mean bird watching as a sport, but I'll just be out and about if I'm walking, or if I'm out inside and I see out the balcony or something. I'll just see a bird. Just look at it for once, bro. Be aware and be present of some of the beauty of the world, instead of just always just neck down, just totally indulging in your phone. That is the 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson. If you want to read the entire book, I'll find a way to have an Amazon affiliate link in the description. Boom. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah. Whew. That was a long ass video, boys. Let's get a W in the chat. Yeah, book summaries are kind of long if you really want to go in detail, don't you? That was a good video, wasn't it? Do I not like UFC? I don't really watch it, bro. I've only seen like a couple of episodes when Sam puts it on like his screen share, like a couple of like highlights from like, oh, some guy got knocked out or something like that. That's it. I don't watch it, but I would train it. Like I would train MMA, and I am doing anyway. But like once I get to Dubai, I'm gonna train it there. Not like seriously, I'm not gonna compete or anything, but I'm just gonna train it just to, you know, for the discipline of leveling up and everything. These videos are getting so long. I'm used to doing 10 videos a day, but recently I've been recording way more like detailed ones. Like I don't want to record any fucking shallow videos which are just like 10 minutes long, especially with these like clickbait titles which are like, oh, you know, the 7 things to do, or the 3 secrets, or the 15 ways. Because with videos like that, if you just spend like 30 seconds per thing, so you know, this is a title I could do right now, the 15 things that are keeping you poor. If I spent like 30 seconds on each one to make a short video, it wouldn't be helpful at all. So I like spending so much time. But then recently these videos are taking me like 45 minutes each to record. I end up doing like half a week's worth of work before lunchtime. I'm gonna take a very quick break, and then I will come back. Someone entertain the boys for me. Everyone just speak to each other in the comment section and ask each other questions. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Please and thank you. How to last longer in bed. I've never taught my sex tactics before, and I realized just recently that improving your sex life is probably a pillar of self-improvement that we probably should talk about. And so I will potentially talk about that kind of stuff. Okay, where are we? Mate, when I record a long video like that was 50 minutes, I think, it takes it out of me. Like, imagine speaking for 50 minutes straight. Because it's not even like, it's not like you're in a conversation because it's just me speaking. When you're only just you speaking for so long, like an hour straight, and oftentimes I record for about 2 hours at a time, it kind of, it makes you feel very lethargic and tired and very, like dry in a sense, like empty. Like I've used all my fucking energy. But we still got more work to do, boys. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Shut up, bro. 3 common mistakes that destroy your dating life. 3 common mistakes. How long am I planning to grow my beard and my hair? For a while, bro. For a while. Hard to say, but like I'm gonna go full Viking style. Like I actually prefer it being messy. A lot of guys are telling me like taper it up and stuff, and I know it'd look a lot better if I did, like, you know, get it trimmed and everything. I just kind of prefer the being messy with it. Honestly, I prefer like the wild look of like I've not tapered it. It's like messy and shit. I actually way prefer that. I've always been like this, bro. I've always been like the guy who, like, I have the money to go to a barber, or I have a barber come to me every 3 days, every week or something. And I literally still will delay it for a month at a time, 2 months at a time, because I actually prefer just being wild and like I don't trim my body hair, I don't trim my armpit hair or anything. It's very interesting since I've become a lot more masculine and more of like this like leader and unfiltered. I've stopped doing quite a lot of the quite like neurotic, almost feminine grooming that I used to do as like a young man when I was more of a fuckboy. Like I used to like be so neurotic about my hairstyle and about, you know, trimming and everything, and like my armpit hair. I used to be so fucking like neurotic, and like, so, you know, it meant so much to me. And now it's just like I don't give a shit, bro. I like it being fucking messy and shit. I like it just like growing out of place and everything. It's very interesting. I think as you become a lot more masculine, it's like you just stop giving a shit, and either you grow your hair out without thinking about it, or you just trim it all off. You start to see that with so many guys. Alright, boys, next video. I say we do one on money this time. Help me choose which video we should do. We can do these 15 things are keeping you poor. These 15 things are keeping you poor. Or how to invest your money in your 20s. Spam 1 if you want me to record these 15 things will keep you poor. Or spam 2 if you want me to record how to invest your money in your 20s. Which one? 15 things keeping you poor, invest your money in 20s. 1 or 2? I used to have a friend who was so fucking good at beatboxing. Shout out Levi. We will do... Oh, there's quite a lot for number 2. Yeah, everyone keeps saying you can do a poll. I don't know how you do that. 2 or 1. 2 or 1. How to invest your money in your 20s. What would I say to you guys right now? How to invest your money? What would I actually say? The issue with that video, if I make how to invest your money in your 20s, is like it wouldn't seem as like as insightful as you think it would, because I wouldn't actually tell you to invest in like the things that you're thinking, like crypto or stocks or property or anything, because I don't think you should be investing in those things when you're not rich. I think I'd just end up getting into a rant, which isn't that helpful, because I think the investing advice that's out there right now is fucking trash for young people, and they're keeping you broke. If anyone's telling you right now to invest in property, crypto, stocks, any of this shit, they're going to keep you broke. There's only one thing to invest in, and it's just yourself. Invest in yourself, invest in new opportunities, save up some money and use that to quit your job. Like if you save up like this 5k, use that to quit your job, and now you've got your expenses paid for months, and now you can focus full time on business. That's the single greatest thing you can do. In fact, I should just record that video, shouldn't I? Yeah, fuck it. I don't think this is a very popular topic, though. I can't imagine this title getting a lot of clicks, though. How to invest your money in your 20s. Jeffrey wasted his 20s. Jeffrey wasted his 20s. Most days he sat around in mundane college lectures, scrolling through his phone before heading out to the bar to drink for a couple of hours and smoke weed and eat pizza. Jeffrey only realized this lifestyle was a mistake when he reached his 30s, alone, broke, and lost. Don't be like Jeffrey. Adonis values his time. He spent his 20s building a business, picking himself up from failures and learning. He spent his 20s building a business, picking himself up from his failures and learning from his mistakes. Whilst Jeffrey was nursing his headache. Whilst Jeffrey was wasting time on video games and drugs, Adonis was waking up early, working on his business and investing his money. Okay. I'm not going to waste your time in this video and give you the shitty investing advice that you've probably heard already. Hopefully you can believe me when I say this, but there is not a single good video on investing out there. All of these guys are telling you about index funds and stocks and crypto and property. They're telling broke young men to invest in the same They're telling broke young men to invest in the things that you should invest in when you're rich. If you're in your 20s right now and you're not that rich, right? If you're not making $10, $20, $30,000 a month, not per year, a month. If you're not making 100, 200, 300,000 per year, if you're not making over $100,000 per year, this is the video to follow. Everyone else is going to tell you this bullshit advice that you should start investing early and you should start putting $50 a month into the stocks and shares, and they'll tell you this small dick shit, which is never going to get you rich. They're going to tell you to ruin your thinking with like new decisions to make and new ventures to think about. That's going to fry your brain because you have to learn new things about the stock market or property, and just get started with $5 a month. And if you invest $5 a month every month for 700 years, then you'd be a millionaire. Whoa, the math works out. This is what these motherfuckers are telling young men, bro. They're telling young men, be a good boy, invest a small amount because you're broke, and don't work on being broke. Don't work on increasing your money, which is, don't work on increasing your money and becoming successful. Just stay broke. But how about you just stop buying coffee? Stop buying things that actually give you some joy and pleasure. Invest just $10, $50 a month. They tell you this shitty advice of this small dick advice, which is like so applicable to the peasants around the world who like, they hear like, oh, I'm broke because I buy coffee. So if I stop buying coffee, then I'd be a millionaire. Wow. That advice is so applicable to people who have no idea how to actually make money. Now, the thing is, you're here not actually because you want to invest your money. You're here because you just want to become rich and wealthy, right? So I'm going to teach you the best way to do that with the journey that I had to personally go through. And you're going to realize, and near the end of this video, you're going to realize that this is literally the only way that you'd actually become successful. And the advice that you're seeing from all these gurus, from all these YouTubers, from all these authors, is just not that good. The advice they're giving you is so applicable because if you're a lazy person, it gives you something to focus on. What I'm about to tell you in this video, it won't work for you if you're lazy. It won't work for you if you don't want to do hard work. I'm about to tell you something which is actually going to get you rich if you follow the steps, but it's going to be fucking hard, and you're going to have to dedicate your life to it, and you're going to have to stop playing video games, and you're going to have to stop eating junk food that fucks up your brain's power and focus. The reason why this video is not going to get that many views is because what I'm about to teach you, most people won't be able to do this. How to invest your money in your 20s. You don't invest in other people's companies. You don't invest in crypto or in stocks or in property. You invest in yourself. Now, what does the term investing mean? Investing means you put something, usually money, into something to hopefully make it grow, and then you get a bigger return on investment. So if you put some of your money into a company like Apple, or you put it into the big index funds like Apple and 500 different companies, you're giving them money to help them with their business, and you're hoping that since they think that you're a good boy, they'll give you a little bit more money in return. I think your PP size has to be very small for that. Because if you understand this concept of investing, why would you invest in someone else's business instead of your own? So if you're already really rich, if you're already making over $100,000 per year, fine. Now let's think about property and crypto. But if you're making less than $100,000 per year, if you're literally broke, if you don't have a job, if you're young, if you're studying or something, bro, I promise you that the thing to invest in is totally yourself, and to start developing skills. And maybe the best thing that you can do to begin with, which is how I started my journey of becoming successful. I invested in myself by giving myself the most important thing, time. Let's say you're working right now, you found a way to save up $1,000, $2,000 or something, right? So you've got some money that you want to invest. These motherfuckers on YouTube will tell you invest it into stocks and shares, and maybe you'll make, a year from now, if you invest your $2,000, you might make $20. These guys are literally telling you that if you've got $2,000, you should invest it into the index funds, and a year from now, you might have $20 as a return if the market hasn't went down. These guys are telling you to invest your money so that hopefully you can make $20 over the entire year. $2,000 isn't a lot of money, but you know what it can buy you? Time. I saved up $2,000 or £2,000, and I used that to invest in myself by giving me some free runway, some time that I didn't need to work a job. This is what you do when you're a young person. You're studying, you've got some part-time jobs, some full-time job, whatever. You find a way to make, a couple $100, $1,000, $2,000. Save up a small, a pretty good amount for that age, and think to yourself, okay, this is my sort of nest egg for me to live off. Now I can quit my job, and I don't need to work now I can quit the job that I didn't even want to work long term. If you're working some shitty job right now in a warehouse, or some job that you don't even like, if you're working some shitty job right now in some warehouse or something that you don't even like, or Uber Eats or whatever, save up $1,000, save up $2,000, save up a couple of months of spending money, savings. Hopefully you're still living with your parents at this point. If you are broke, you should be living with your parents. And if you saved up $2,000 and you're living with your parents, bro, you'd essentially have enough money saved up to not need to work a job. For how long? 3 months, 6 months, maybe a year. If you were living with your parents, and especially if you're young and they're buying the food, it's what do you even need money for? That single great, I want to really drill this in. This video is going to be so boring because I really hope some guy out there can take this. The single greatest thing that you can invest in is to save up some money and just use that so that you don't have to keep working some job that takes up most of your time. And obviously, if it's the job that you don't even want to stay with long term. If your real dream is to become an entrepreneur and become a digital nomad and make money online from a laptop and stuff, and you're working some shitty job right now, the biggest goal that you could do, the biggest return on investment you could get is just free up your time and not need to work that job. Work hard, save up some money, quit the job, and now you've got that money saved up, which now you don't need a job for 6 months. Now you can be full-time self-employed. You can literally wake up 7 days a week and work on your business instead of having to split your attention a few days a week, going to work or going to school or some shit. That is step one. That is step one. Save up enough money to invest in yourself to give you some free time. That is step one. That is step one. Save up enough money to invest in yourself to get free time so that then you can pursue the thing that you actually want to do without having to split your time to work some shitty job that you don't want. That's the most important thing. You need to invest to get your time back. So many guys do this the opposite way. They'll work some job that they don't even like, that they don't even want to stay with, and they'll work it just so that they can save up some money to invest into stocks and other things. That doesn't make any sense. Your time is the most valuable thing. If you think you're going to become successful, if you think you're a smart young man, hard-working young man, you need to deeply value your time more than investing into stocks and crypto and hoping to get $50 back. Your time's worth so much more than that because your time is how you get shit done. That's step one, free up your time with the money. Then step two, start to develop better skills. Start to like buy. Then step two is to develop better skills so that you can make more money. You want to know the real secret to success. You want to know the secret that so many guys don't even realize, even though it shouldn't be a secret because it's fucking common sense. But you want to know the real secret to becoming rich and wealthy. Make more money. Now that might seem like common sense why Hamza is saying it like this. Do you know that the answer to this question from the mouths of everyone else who's trying to give you bad advice will tell you the secret of becoming rich is to save money? Which one is it? Saving money. If that was the thing that was going to get you rich, then your parents would be rich because they've tried to save money all of their life. If that was the thing that was going to get you rich and wealthy and free, then all of these people that you see would be fine. They would be absolutely fine. They would be absolutely fine. They would be absolutely fine financially. And yet you see the average person get absolutely annihilated in this hard financial times because they try to save. They put their efforts on saving money and not buying coffee and downgrading their internet package. So now you've got shitty slow internet, but your parents save £8 a month. Saving money does not work. Saving money only will work when you're making so much that the amount that you can save is a good amount. But people are out here literally getting happy that they can save $12 a month. You're not going to get rich from that. There is one way to get rich. There is one way to get free. There is one way to actually make... There is one way to get rich. There is one way to get free. And you must understand this even though it seems so common. And you must understand this even though it seems so simple. You've got to make more money. Anyone who's telling you right now that you need to save more is lying, because when you tell an average person you need to save more, straight away it pops into them. Because when you tell an average because when one of these fake gurus tells an average person to save more money, what happens? Straight away it pops into the peasant's mind like, oh, okay, I know what to do. I shouldn't buy coffee, I shouldn't buy this, I shouldn't buy this, I shouldn't buy this. They've got stuff to do, and it seems a little bit easier if you tell them, yeah, save $10 a month. If you tell them save $10, $50 a month, they'll be able to start to work out how, and it feels a little bit easy to do that. But yeah, when you tell someone to make more money, and the way to do that is through business, and the way to actually do well in business is to transform your entire life so that you're no longer playing any amount of video games, you're no longer drinking, you're no longer smoking, you're literally just waking up and fucking working on something productive and actually like doing hard work that fries your brain. And I'm not talking, build a logo and spend time listening to music whilst you do some fun tasks. I'm talking about like mentally painful tasks that no one really wants to do, but you do them, even though it hurts and even though you don't feel like it. That's how you make more money. You do hard work that other people don't want to do, and you do it smarter, and you do it faster than them, and you do it better than them. That's the concept of making more money, and yet in the modern day, all you're told is save as much as you can. Step two, you start to develop better skills so that you can increase how much you can make. Increasing your income is the most important part of this entire metric, not decreasing your expenses. Decreasing your expenses only matters when you've got a high income to begin with. So literally the only thought you should have is to increase your income. And I promise you, listen, you might think, wait, what if I do both? What if I try to increase my income and decrease my expenses, bro? I promise you that that's the wrong thing. And I wish you could believe me. Maybe you can't right now because you've still got like broke people mindset. The reason why you can't think of doing both at the same time is because then you're not going to be an entrepreneur. Then you're just going to be like a higher level worker. You're just going to be like one of these middle class people that makes like, $50,000 a year. And yet they've got no free time. Why? Because then you'll be one of these people who are middle class and they've got, $50,000 a year. That's a pretty good wage. And yet they hate their lives. Why? Because they've got no free time. Why? Because they keep trying to decrease their expenses, and they've done so in a way that, yeah, they save $25 a month, but now they walk to work and it's half an hour slower. Or, these same people who are like, they focus on reducing their expenses. They'll look around at for example, or these same people who try to reduce their expenses, and your parents will do this, maybe you do this, and you focus on trying to like spend less money. You'll look around at the gyms around your area, and you'll see that, wow, this one gym is $10 cheaper a month. So you'll focus, okay, you'll get that one, right? It's cheaper. And yet what you didn't realize is the gym that was $10 a month cheaper, it's going to take you an extra 10 minutes to get there and an extra 10 minutes back. If you go to the gym 5-6 times a week, that's 2 hours. That's 8 hours of your month gone to save $10. People who focus on decreasing expenses deeply undervalue their time and end up just being so busy doing nothing, and then their income and then their income stabilizes. The person who actually gets rich focuses entirely on the income, and then once they're making a lot of money, then they choose what to do with their expenses. I never thought, like, I'm going to tell you my story, bro. I never thought about decreasing my expenses. And so my parents found it so weird that when I started making, and so my parents, and especially my sister, found it so weird that when I started making money, my expenses were still pretty, and so my parents, and especially my sister, started grilling me. I started making some money from this business. Fuck. And so my parents and my sister found this so like weird, and almost they were hateful towards me a little bit when I first started making money. And I would spend quite a lot of money on food deliveries, you know, like on Uber Eats and Deliveroo. And my sister would say to me like, "Oh my God, you spent £100 this week on food. Are you stupid? That's so much money." What she didn't realize, no offense to her, is like she's got brokey mindset. Because by me ordering food, it meant that I didn't need to spend 20 minutes, half an hour cooking, 5 minutes cleaning up. The half an hour saved meant that I could record another 2 videos, which ended up making £50, £100, £200, and I spent £20 on that meal. The people who go on to become like, the people who go on to make a good amount of money, I'm talking more than 100K per year, are the people who focus the young entrepreneurs who go on to make a really good amount of money. Like I'm talking above 100K a year, 250K. That seems like an impossible amount, right? There's young entrepreneurs who are doing that, and that's because they're focused entirely on increasing their income. And the way you do that is you develop better skills. So in this step, you start to invest in the things that will give you better skills. Now, the easiest one is books. Start buying books with absolutely no guilt at all. And you might be thinking, wait, but I can just like find books online for free, and you can do that. But no offense, but that really shows your self-image. It really shows your identity. If you're going to go through the pain of 5 minutes trying to find, like, you know, getting viruses on your computer and trying to find some like free software instead of just buying a book for $5. Now, you might not be there just yet, and $5 might be a lot to you. But relatively, like, if you value your time, you'll stop to like consider trying to get the free thing. You'll stop being the guy who's trying to wait in line with a coupon, you know, like in a big line because you can get a free $1 pizza. Bro, I used to do that in uni. Literally, people would just wait in line because you could get a free £1 pizza, and you'd literally be stood there for 20 minutes thinking that you're getting a free pizza. You've just wasted 20 minutes of your life. So all these people who are there right now, who are getting a £1 pizza for free because they waited 20 minutes, but they're on minimum wage and they make £8 an hour, so they make about £2.50 or so per 20 minutes. They actually lost money by getting a free pizza. This concept of your time actually being worth something does not exist in most people's brains, and that's why they struggle to become successful. If you want to become successful, there's one core thing you need, bro. You need to value your time. You need to understand that your time is how you get things done. In this stage, So in this stage, you've already freed up a bunch of your time. It's time to now start increasing how much your time is worth by developing your skills. Buy a bunch of books which teach the skills that you need. For example, if you want to become a YouTuber, you get the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. That's like $10. You start reading that, you become better on camera. If you start reading that and you become better on camera. If you want to get into sales and you want to do like internet marketing, if you want to do sales and you want to get into internet marketing, you buy those books, read them, learn from them, study them like a handbook, and implement what you've learned. Whew. Oh man, laptop's gonna die. Yo baby, if you're watching this, can you bring me my laptop charger, please? What is the next one? Along this step of developing your skills so you can increase your income, one of the best things you can do if you've got the money for it is start to get specific advice from the person who's already done the thing that you want. This is called coaching or mentorship. So for example, this is called coaching or mentorship. So for example, if you want to become a YouTuber, now you can, study the free YouTube videos and you can buy some books and that's really good. But the fastest way possible to become like a really good YouTuber is to pay a successful YouTuber to hop onto a call with you for a couple of hours and to like literally go through everything that he can teach you, and he'll watch you, he'll look through your YouTube channel and stuff. That's the best way. The issue with this is that if you actually want to get advice from someone who's really successful already, like if you wanted advice from me, you wouldn't be able to afford it. No offense, I don't say this to be obnoxious, but like almost no one who actually watches my videos could afford my like one-to-one time. Like my one-to-one time is not actually for my followers who are quite young and quite new to like self-improvement and being productive and making money. My one-to-one time, my one-to-one mentorship is like a hidden thing that's available to like millionaires if they want to pay me like tens of thousands of dollars to hop on a video call with them. It seems stupid, right? People literally pay thousands of dollars to hop onto a video call with me, and they'll ask me like, oh, what do you think about this video? The reason why is because they're worth millions, and they know that a conversation with someone like me would drastically increase how fast they get success. What you potentially could try to do at this stage is to start to look for people who are slightly undervaluing their time, but who are way more successful than you. Maybe, for example, you're a YouTuber, you go find someone who's got 100k subs, 200k subs, and you message him like, oh bro, I'll pay you $100 for an hour of your time. Come onto a video call and let me just ask you a bunch of questions and, you know, like review my channel and give me some advice. It might seem really expensive. Wait, well, I'm gonna pay him $100. Like, it might seem really expensive. Like, wait, I'm gonna pay him like $100 for his time. Like, whoa, like, but I only make $10 an hour. The reason why you do this is because you'll save hours and hours and hours when you have the correct guidance. I'm just gonna give a very quick disclaimer. I sound like a dick, but like, please don't message me for like free mentorship or something. So many guys do this. It's like, I give this advice for free. I come onto my Discord server. I give advice there for free. I'm not ever gonna do like free like one-to-ones, because you don't realize how like time consuming and how much it takes from you. So my one-to-one time, apart from like my morning free calls that I do with my followers on my Discord server, that's reserved for. I'm not even gonna say this bit because people will watch it and think like, oh wow, he's a scummy fucking prick. Oh. Yeah, there's a lot of lag. Hey, baby. Thank you. Is the lag gone now? How nice is that? My girl's watching the stream. So I said it on stream. I just spoke to him and like, oh, hey, baby, can you get me my charger, please? Still lagging. I feel like this video is just going to be shit because I'm just being ranty, and I don't know if it's actually going to help anyone, because I feel like the people who I'm trying to help with this video have got such deep beliefs about the wrong way to invest money that they're not going to listen to me, because you're just going to listen to your parents instead. But your parents are broke, so I mean, you can follow their advice if you want and maybe, hopefully, be 10% more successful than they are. Yeah, it's lagging a little bit. Is it still lagging? Yeah, it's really delayed on my little camera here. Yeah. Okay. So at this stage, you've freed up a bunch of your time. Then you've spent a bunch of. So at this stage, you freed up a bunch of your time. That's how you first use any money you want to invest. You actually use that to free up your time, so you don't have to work any jobs. Make sure that you follow that step, bro. Make sure you invest your money by Make sure you invest your money by not needing a job first. That's the most important thing. If like it's a job you don't actually want to have, then invest your money by improving your skills. Do that through getting books or paying people to like teach you and get coaches or whatever. The third step then. So the third step then, because at this point you're gonna start. After following these two steps, you're actually going to start making a lot more money than you thought was possible. Because if you freed up your time and now you've actually made your skills better and your time is more valuable, it's not hard to go through this process in 3 months, 6 months, and start making $50 to $100 an hour. Like, I was on benefits, so I was on government welfare. And a few months later, after I followed those two steps, I started making about £100 per hour just from improving my skills. It's like, if you follow these two steps, bro, it's not hard to get up to $50 an hour. Honestly, like, I know that seems an incredibly like unreal number for some people, but if you've improved your skills, like, you become worth it. And if you freed up your time so that you've got time to improve your skills, and also that you value your time, You can literally start charging $50 an hour for things that, like, you know, that you can sell because you've learned those skills. Here now is the point that you've already increased your income. You're already making a lot more money. Here now is the point that you've already increased your income. You're already making more money. Now, this is the point where you could start to choose to invest. This is the point now, this is the point now where your income has went up. So you can start to think about actually investing in other people's companies, like, you know, like stocks and crypto and stuff like that. Crypto's not a company, but like, you get what I mean. You could start to do that now, and this is where most people actually do, but I would still recommend not doing this. Honestly, I would still recommend at this point in like stage three, I would recommend in stage three, I would recommend that you keep still putting money back into yourself. If in stage three, I think that you should still keep putting money back into yourself. And this is going to start to get a bit more specific to which endeavor that you choose. So for example, I can only give you my example, right? If you want to become a YouTuber, this is the point where, you know, you've already improved your skills, you're better on camera, maybe you've bought like some camera gear or something. This is the point where you start to hire other people and you start to outsource them. This is the point where you start to hire some people and this is the point where you start to hire other people, you start to outsource some tasks so you save even more of your time, you become more of a leader than a worker. If I was going to go, This is the point where you should invest. This is the point where you should invest money to make your life better. And I don't say that for materialistic purchases. Like, oh, but if I had a handbag, girls will say this, but like, you know, for guys, like, oh, but if I had nice shoes, my life would be better. I'm talking about like real tangible things. This is the point now where it's specific to you. What could you start? This is the point now where you've started to make a little bit more money. So you're probably not here just yet, but when you've started to make like a good amount to the point that, you know, your family and your friends are like, whoa, you're making so much. This is the point that you should still spend that money on yourself to make your life better. The thing that I did was that I signed up. The thing that I did was that I signed up to a fancy gym nearby, like a really, really fancy like health spa, which was 10 times the price of a normal gym membership. That meant that when I went there, I felt like I was high class. I felt like I was like, you know, more successful than I actually was. And guess what happened? My self-image and my identity increased. And that deeply was so valuable because then I was around people who were more wealthy. You don't realize like there's so many things that you could spend money on and invest your money on that will have a higher ROI than just trying to get fucking index funds 10% per year or something. So I did that. So I did that. I started spending £150 a month on my gym membership instead of like 15. And then I also started buying like healthier food. And then I bought some things that would make my life better. Like for example, I bought an Aura ring, which is like $300 and helps you improve your sleep. This is the point where you should start to improve This is the point that you should start to improve other things in your life that's just going to help you to make more. This is the point that you should start to improve other things in your life because the ROI of signing up to like a gym that you love going to is way higher than 10% return on investment or 50% or 100%. It's so much more important to have like a life. It's so much more important to spend money on a life that you actually like. So that's stage three. Spend money on some things that are actually going to make your life better. And then stage 4, at this point, you've got a company. At this point, you've outsourced a bunch of tasks. You're more of like a business owner, a CEO. You're making a bunch of money. Now you're making quite literally 10, 20, 30,000 per month. Now choose to invest in other people's company because you've probably invested as much as you possibly could in your company. Because you probably invested as much as you could in yourself, that now the return on investment, like, you know, you're running out of ideas for what to spend money on for yourself. Now it's like, okay, since there's nothing really high ROI that I could spend on myself, I may as well start spending on other people and get like a return on investment from them. So this is the point that you now start to consider crypto, property, stocks. I think the best way out of all of these to start is put some money in. I think the best way to start in stage 4 is to go directly to Bitcoin. So that's exactly what I did. I didn't really understand crypto more than the basics, but I kind of assumed that Bitcoin is going to be kind of like a safe investment. Not really safe, but I kind of assumed Bitcoin was going to be a good investment. And of course, you know, it's very volatile. So this is the point you need to prepare your psychology for, because now there's going to be a lot of risk that's outside your control. I invested into Bitcoin. I put a fair amount in there, and the prices have went all the way down, right? There's a lot of people who would have saw the prices go down and started panicking and started getting upset and like, oh, I've lost so much money. I have not had a single thought about it apart from right now. I don't even keep up to date with crypto news. I've invested money into it and then I never looked at it again. When I hear, some random news article or YouTube videos maybe a year from now that, oh, Bitcoin's went all the way back up, it's like, okay, maybe I'll sell then. You need to have this kind of attitude. If you don't want to do trading and gambling, but you want to do more like safe long-term investments, that you're going to invest in something and be absolutely stoic to whatever the bullshit you see in the news and all these people saying, oh, it's this is dead and this is dead, whatever. You invest into something and you just kind of forget that you've ever invested in there up until you kind of see a message that your investment's probably made a lot more money. Do this with index funds. So you can go and find the S&P 500. You can go onto websites like Vangrove's. What's the what's that investment site? Vanguard. That's so creepy, bro. I have not searched for Vanguard on this laptop, and yet just because I've just spoke about it, now I just pressed V and it was the search result. How fucked is that, bro? How fucked is that? I have not searched for it on this website. I've not even thought about it for fucking like a year straight, investing, Vanguard, whatever. I just pressed V in Google, like the search bar, and literally Vanguard was just there just because they've heard me. They've heard me talk about it. Fucking hell. This shit's creepy. They're listening 24/7, bro. Is this a good video? I think it's kind of shit, I'm not gonna lie, I might delete it. Because I've just spent like 30 minutes just wasting time. And now that I'm actually telling them the investment advice, all I can tell them is like, yeah, just go on the website and just invest. Like, is this a shit video? Ding 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 ding. Da-da-dum bum. I shouldn't delete it. Boring video. Delete it, don't delete it. Okay, I think I'll post it because some people are saying, yeah, keep it, but I'll just move on from it. So let me just do it. I don't know if this video is any good. I hope it is. But at this point, I don't know if this video is any good or not because this is the point that I've got to where I focus entirely on increasing the income. My income is about more than $500,000 per year now, and it's going to drastically increase above that. Once you get to this point, I know that I've just brushed past the minor I know that I've just brushed past like a pretty big detail of how much money I make about $500,000 a year right now, and that's like, I mean that's income to be honest, and not including expenses. The profit's not that big. Profit's maybe like 100K, 150K, 200K, something like that. Like, but it's gonna be about double that in the next few months on average. And once you get to this point when you're making so much fucking money, then it's like, okay, now I can spend time going to find like the best financial advisor and start to invest there. Hopefully you weren't waiting all this time to learn exactly, step by step how to start investing in stocks, because if I can convince you of one thing, do not think about investing in anyone else before you've invested in yourself. I'm at this point now when, bro, the amount of money that I'm making is stupid. And I've got here because I focus on one thing and just one thing only, increasing my income. Now I've got the place and the time to think about other investments. But I wouldn't be here from the start. I followed everyone else's advice and I started looking into property when I was broke, and I started looking into like stocks and shares and stuff and invested $50 a month like a good boy. Or if I tried to like think saving was the key to wealth. If you want to get wealthy, if you really want to learn how to like invest, focus on yourself. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah. Midza. I'll send it to one of my editors and I'll just tell him to like butcher the video and go through it and just take out like a bunch of shit. God, I didn't really like that video. That happens. Sometimes you just make a video which is just shit. I'm pretty sure I've done a video of the same title before as well, actually. I've done 3 long ass videos. Yeah, I'll do a short video now. I really want to do. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'll do this one. How to find love and build sexual desire in a relationship. Okay, so this one, boys, I have no script for. So all I have is the title. And so what I'm going to do, you're going to watch me just fucking wing a video from the start with absolutely no structure to go forward other than just the title, which is that, like, this is the script right now. It's literally blank. Look at this. Like, it's just the title, boom, and nothing else. Let's do it. Make them... Oh, wait, not this one. Which one was it? Yeah, how to find love and build sexual desire in a relationship. Let's do it. I can do this one. You know what Jeffrey wants more than anything else? It isn't video games. It isn't Doritos Chili Heat Wave. It isn't Doritos Chili Heat Wave crisps. It's a girlfriend. Jeffrey can't wait to eventually fall in love and have a girl who even loves him, and then they can cuddle and they can spend all of their time together and they can be like best friends. And wait, what? What? Even in Jeffrey's fantasy, his dream girl leaves him. He can't even imagine a... He can't even imagine in total fantasy that any girl would continue to be in love and so sexually turned on by him. That's because he does everything wrong that we're gonna cover in this video. Adonis. Find love and build sexual desire in a relationship. Adonis. Adonis navigates his relationship in the most ideal way. We have so much. You and I have so much to learn from him, and so we're in the bushes spying on his relationship. Come on, bro, let's see how Adonis. Come on, bro, let's see how Adonis is with his woman. That's interesting. They don't really seem to talk to each other that much. He's just in a separate room working out and working on his business. He seems so focused on his craft, and yet his woman seems focused on him. Okay, there he is. He's going out towards her now. Whoa, that's so cute. Instead of talking to her like, instead of just walking in there and just talking to her like she's his friend, he's just went up and picked her up straight away, and there's so much sexual chemistry. He's doing something so different from the rest of us. How to find love and build sexual desire in a relationship. Okay. I've experienced a full spectrum of the kinds of relationships you can have. I remember the first like real girlfriend that I had when I was 19 years old, and I lost my virginity to this girl. We had love and even sexual desire, but then the relationship ended just months later because of a difference in our values. Fast forward around 2 years, and I start dating the girl who I had like the longest term relationship with. And with this girl, bro, she saw me as a total like alpha male. Like, she saw me literally sleeping with other girls. She was so like sexually into me, like fully submissive, down for me whenever I wanted. The sexual desire was there. The love was there from her side. But from me to her, I wasn't a very loving guy. So imagine this girl is totally in your frame. She totally is into you. She's so like obsessed with you. She is down to meet you whenever. Literally just, it's almost easy for you. And you're almost like a dick to her. You love her, and you're so sexually into her, but you're just not loving towards her. And so eventually, years later, the relationship eventually ended, and it was like quite sad because we had attached to each other. But then when I look back to this time that I had with this girl, I was never even nice to her. And I'm not saying to be a nice guy, but I was never even like loving and appreciative of her. And I look back with so much. If there's one thing, I've been asked this question of like, what's something I regret? this is the relationship that comes to mind. I regret that I was in a relationship for so long with a girl who was nice and great, and you know, like, we're not compatible now. It's been a very long time. I'm in a very happy relationship, but like, when I look back now, it's like we were in love, and I just wish I kind of showed that to her instead of being too cold and too like negative and almost hostile towards it. Like, I don't even understand why it was like that. What's interesting about this relationship that started with so much sexual desire was that I saw her sexual desire into was that I saw the level of sexual desire that she had in me drastically drop from sky high as much as it possibly ever could have been to literally to the bottom where I almost knew that I was more of like a nuisance to her than anything else. And imagine that transformation. Imagine being a girl's like total alpha male. She is for you. She is literally just yours. And eventually you kind of know that she thinks of you more like a chump. It's a very like big transformation. Oh man. Whew. I didn't know then what I know now about masculine and feminine polarity. And that phrase is what we're going to talk about in this video. Masculine and feminine polarity. If you can understand this term, you'll be able to build and even if you can understand this term, you'll be able to maintain and even grow love and sexual desire when you get into a relationship. Now, you might be watching this and thinking, wait, like, I'm not in a relationship yet, and, you know, I'm focused on other things. That's absolutely fine. But you might just want to learn these things just because you never really know when the next time you're going to get into a relationship, when you meet a girl because you never really know the next time you're going to get into a relationship and when you meet a girl who meets your standards. So it'll be good to just keep this knowledge in mind as you go about your life, because you eventually might meet some girl and be really good to just end it after I said, just end it wherever you can there. That'll be fine for that sentence. How to find love and build sexual desire. It's the masculine and feminine polarity that you need, and we need to break. It's the masculine and feminine polarity that we need, and we need to break these concepts down. Masculine energy is what you should have as a man, and yet it is a global problem, especially in the West, that most men don't have that much masculine energy. Most men are way more feminine than they should be. Masculine energy is all about work. Masculine energy is all about work and progress. And I don't say that, you might think away that seems a bit boring. Like, just trust me when I say a masculine man always feels like he's working. A masculine man always has in mind a mission, an objective, and a goal. Always. You can see like those guys who you've heard of who work for 16 hours a day. Those are like ultra masculine men. And the thing is, a masculine man doesn't. And the thing is, masculine energy does not actually have to mean that he's like, you know, some big like Andrew Tate, jacked, wealthy kind of thing. It just means the energy that he has inside of him. So sometimes you can see a guy with pure masculine energy who doesn't even look that masculine, who doesn't have muscle, who doesn't talk with like a deep voice or anything. Some guys have pure masculine energy, and some guys have pure masculine energy, and you can tell just because they literally just work all day. It's like that's what their focus is on. That's like, it just gives them enjoyment. It just, they would think to themselves like, yeah, well, what else would I do? You might not be purely 100% masculine. I'm certainly not. But I found that as I've went from maybe about 40% masculine, there was a big point when I was way more feminine than I was masculine, to now maybe I'm around 90% masculine. I wake up and literally through the entire day, more than 90% of the day, I'm literally just thinking about work. I'm working right now whilst recording this video. I'm doing double work by live streaming whilst even one hit of work isn't enough for me anymore. It's almost like a drug for me. It's like one hit of work isn't enough. I've got to like double the fucking drug doses and live stream myself recording videos, and I'm doing like 2 work tasks at once. That's the level, bro. Once you become really masculine, and you get this from literally just starting to like care more about work. And also, I'll explain this one secret technique that will skyrocket how masculine you are. But when you become more masculine, you focus more on work and you focus more on like this mission and you care more about work and goals, you'll realize that this is how you actually are attractive to women. And you'll realize that this is so deeply attractive to women because you've watched those videos before that talk about how to attract women through text and everything. What's like the number one technique that they always say? It's to not reply that fast, isn't it? You've always watched those videos where the guy tells you like, oh yeah, like, you know, when you're texting her, don't reply that fast. Why do you think that's attractive to girls? Because girls aren't really attracted to the guy who's watching a fucking video like that and he's like, okay, I won't reply fast then. Why are girls naturally attracted to a guy who doesn't reply to them fast on text, or, you know, a guy who seems kind of a little bit avoidant? Because they're attracted to masculine energy. When you forcefully use these like when you forcefully use these tactics that you use, when you forcefully use these tactics that you see on YouTube, like, oh, I'm not going to reply to a message, what you're really emulating is just masculine energy. She thinks you're busy. Women are attracted to busy masculine men who are focused on work. If you set the goal to become more masculine and you start to learn more about it, and I'll have like a full guide to masculinity pop up. I did this full 1 hour guide. You can go and watch that right now. When you become more masculine, you don't need to play these games. You don't need to act like you're busy on text, because you are. You don't need to spend all day with her because, quite frankly, you don't want to. And I know that if that seems really offensive. What? You don't want to spend all day with your girlfriend? No. No. How do you feel when I just said that? Are you listening to this right now thinking, wait, what? But no, he's got to be weird. Like, I can't wait to spend all day with my girlfriend. That's fine if that's your desire, by the way. That's absolutely fine. But if you want to become masculine, bro, that's the fact that you have this desire shows that you are full of feminine energy. That's, you know, that's been implanted to you from birth, from this conditioning that you've had from your parents, from like the Hollywood movies that you see of the guy who's obsessed over the girl. You've been conditioned to think that the way to like build love and sexual desire is to be her best friend and to spend loads of quality, is to be her best friend and to spend loads and loads of time, like all the time possible together, to like do everything together. You've been conditioned that that's the thing to build a good relationship. And yet that's exactly why relationships end. Use common sense for this question. Through COVID, through the lockdown of COVID, you know, 2020, 2021, imagine all of the couples who are in relationships living together. What do you think happened to their relationships? Just use common sense here, just broadly. What would have happened to the relationships of the couples who were living together through the COVID lockdown? On average, they would have gotten worse, and a lot of them would have broken up, and a lot of them would have lost sexual attraction to each other, wouldn't they? That's kind of like a common sense thing. That is common sense, isn't it? That a lot of, like my relationship did, but a lot of people's relationships got worse over the lockdown because we were all stuck in together, because we spent too much time together. When a man has too much feminine energy, like you may do, you start to crave this like love and this like, when a man has too much feminine energy, when a man has too much feminine energy, he's tipped to the wrong side of the scale. He becomes way more obsessive and neurotic and desperate to spend time with the person that he loves. He starts thinking about them. He starts dreaming about them. I've been feminine for most of my life, so I'll tell you how this feels, bro. You go to sleep thinking about the girl that you're in love with. And you might think, well, yeah, of course you do. Like that's normal, isn't it? If you were more masculine, you go to sleep thinking about work. You go to sleep, literally, like I spend the last like 20 minutes, and I'm not trying to boast that I'm more masculine than you, that means I'm better than you or anything. It's just like, if you wanted to become more masculine, well, this is how. If you don't want to become more masculine and you're fine how you are, then okay, fine, sweet. You don't need to watch this video. But this is how I spend the last like half an hour of my night. I don't spend it thinking about the girl or anything. I spend it literally planning what I'm gonna. I spend it literally planning the work I'm gonna do tomorrow. So the masculine energy is literally just all about work, mission, goals. And if that seems really sad to you right now, if you're thinking like, oh, that's so sad, like that's so boring, it shows where you are. And now you might be thinking, okay, well, it does show where I am, and yeah, so I'm not masculine, and like, I don't want to be masculine anyway because that seems boring. And you might think, okay, well, yeah, work is boring. Maybe that's just because your work is boring. Maybe you just haven't found work that you really like find fulfilling yet. There was one particular phrase, like sentence that I read in a book which changed it all for me, because I thought once, I was like, no, but I don't want to be these guys who work all day. That seems boring. Why would I want to be masculine anyway? Okay, it seems normal, but it's like, I like thinking about the girl, I like cuddling, I like spending time with girls. There was one sentence in this book that said that if you are not a masculine man, you will never experience having like a little bit of like a fight or an argument with your girl and then dropping down passionately making love on the floor. I'll say this again. If you're not a masculine man, you will never have such sexual tension in your relationships that you'll get into like this kind of like heated arguments with your girl. You'll end up fighting, like almost like fighting, and end up literally start fucking immediately. I read this sentence and honestly it made me feel a little bit insecure because it's such a specific thing, and I was like, fuck, like, it's kind of true. When you're way more feminine and you're not that masculine, you don't have this polarity with the girl that you're dating. Now, polarity is a very important word that I need to explain to you. Polarity means like more of this. Polarity means more of like a push to the extremes. So if we pretend 100% masculine is over here and 100% feminine is over here, being polarized means that you are on these extreme ends. Being depolarized means that you're closer to the middle. You're less masculine, she's less feminine. What does this sound like? A modern day relationship. Most guys are way less masculine, way more feminine than they should be. Most women are way less feminine than they should be. So most people are right here, like in the middle. Sometimes it's even like this. Honestly, like I've had a relationship like this before. But for most people, it's about here. This is called depolarization. And this is the state where the couple can be friends. Because they're so depolarized. The guy's not that masculine, the woman's not that feminine. And then they're like best friends. Because this is the friend zone, but not so much in like, oh, he got friend zone, but this is literally like the friend zone where like you can be friends with your partner. And you might think that sounds nice, but like when you're friends with your partner, you will not have like this sexual like feist. You will not feel like a fucking animal around her. You will not ravage her. And if those things are fine, if you're absolutely so secure in yourself that you don't care about having like a great sex life and you don't care about being like the guy who's ravaged her the most in her life, then okay, stay there. But if there's something inside of you, some people can say it's insecurity. I don't know what it is. But for me, it was just this desire to think like, bro, like, I want to be like a fucking animal around her. When you go like this, it creates like this fucking primal urge where you can't help but like want to have sex with your girl every 10 minutes, every 20 minutes. When you go like this and you become more masculine and she becomes really feminine, it creates like this huge constant sexual tension and this like burning passionate love for each other. Does that last sentence that I just said, does that define most couples these days? Most couples these days are so like mature in the sense of like they're just like two man and woman, but they're just like friends and they're just like normal people next to each other. They're just, most people, bro, most couples are buddies. Most couples are buddies. And again, if that's someone's desire, okay, fine, fair enough. It wasn't mine. How do you build love and sexual desire in a relationship, bro? The only thing that you can do is just become way more masculine. Now, we want and I hope our girl will be very feminine. What I've actually realized, you know, when you look around, the thing is most women are not feminine these days. Or like you almost never meet any actually feminine women these days. But what I found is that when you are a very masculine man and you're also very like confident about yourself and you're successful and everything and you have a certain kind of personality which is quite dominant, the more masculine you are, you start to push women to the feminine side. So for example, I meet a woman. This has happened for like the last 2 years, where when there's a girl that I'm about to date, she's, you know, a bit more normal, depolarized, a bit more like masculine than, you know, she naturally would be because of like, you know, her sort of masculine friends, her masculine mother or something. And yet when she's fallen in love with me, by just being in love with a masculine man, she starts to get pushed out, polarized to the feminine side. And likewise, you know, I said that there's one fast tip to become masculine, like faster than any other way. Well, when you date a feminine woman, a really feminine woman who's totally focused on you, femininity is all about like being focused on love. When she's totally focused on love and not fucking studies, when she's totally focused on love and not like her career, well then you become more masculine. You see, we need this polarity, and this is the thing that not only maintains but grows a love and sexual desire, is this polarity, this difference, the fact that we are not equal, we are not the same. That's so like barbaric to say these days that yes, me and my girl are not the same. We're not. We're so different. We're not the same. And honestly, like you might think it's crazy. Like we've even had the talk, but bro, we're not even equals. It's like I'm better than her in so many ways, and she's better than me in so many ways. To say that we're equal, like what the fuck's the point in that? If we were equals, if we were so oh my god, we're like best friends, we're so similar. What's the point? What would be the point? We're almost nothing alike. Like, yeah, we've got a few interests. We like reading books and stuff. Okay, we like self-improvement. Yeah, there's a few interests. But it's like we're almost nothing alike with our personalities. I'm sat here. I've literally been double working whilst recording videos and live streaming at the same time. For 3 hours, I've been working. Focused on this. I've had literally like one small thought about my girl. And guess what the thought was? It was for me to turn to this laptop right now, which I'm live streaming, to look into the camera and say, baby, can you bring my charger? Why? Because she's in the other room thinking about me. Because if she's a feminine woman, she's thinking about you. That's why we need each other. That's why we're in love. That's why there's going to be like this polarity with your sexual energy. So this is exactly what you do. You want to build, you want to maintain love and especially sexual desire. Become as masculine as you can. Become as focused on this like mission, on this like leadership, this guidance. That full guide to masculinity will be like a card, and I'll have it on the description and stuff. You can go and watch that and try and learn from that. Become more masculine. And one thing I'll give you a tip though, I've really messed up with this. Become more masculine. And masculinity is all about work and everything. You'll be focused on the work and the project. I've really messed up and I've made a mistake here. Become more masculine, focus on the work, but also remember that your woman needs to be topped up with love and appreciation and focus. Sometimes, very recently, for the first time in my life, I've been too focused on work to the detriment of like her feelings. And so I've almost neglected her to an extent that like she felt sad about it. And that honestly, like even though that's a bad thing, it's a mistake that and even though that's a bad thing and a mistake that I'm gonna overcome, it's a kind of a nice problem to have. I'm so masculine and so focused on work that I've neglected her a little bit, so I just need to like pull back a little bit. Why is that a nice mistake to have? Well, think about the opposite side. Think about if you're so feminine, if you're not focused on work at all, that you're too needy and clingy on her. Which one is she going to be more attracted to? The guy who she's really hoping, like, oh, come on, can you not just spend a day with me? I really want to spend more time with you. Or the guy where she's thinking, like, oh, come on, can you not just go away? I really just want one day without you. Which one? So it's an okay problem to have, but I definitely went too far. So as you go about this pursuit of being more masculine and being way more focused on work and just being more of like this dominant guy, which, you know, you've learned from all of my videos so far, from self-improvement and, you know, masculinity, just remember that like she needs some direct time. So when you go and spend time with her, like we saw with Adonis, and, you know, he's working on his business and everything, when you go and spend time with her, make sure it's like total quality time. After I record this video, I'm going to walk in there and start like playing around, like, you know, play fighting with her. And, you know, for the last like few hours, her sort of like love tank, like love, whatever, like, you know, tank or battery or something has went down whilst I've been focusing on this. I'm going to go in there, start like pretending to like kick her or something. We'll start kissing and stuff, and I'll go back up again. Maintaining and growing her attraction and her sort of sexual interest in you is literally all just about keeping that tank up, and it goes up from the kind of masculine attraction that she actually desires. I hope that helps you, bro. Click and watch this video right now. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. Mwah. Woo! Oh, I'm sweaty as fuck, boys. All right. Did you think that was a good one? I was unsure about the last two videos, that one and the investing one before. I was unsure about those two. Whew. Why am I bulking? Oh, bro, I want to get up to like 220 pounds. That's all we're going to do, boys. That was 4 videos, just under 3 hours of content. That is half a week's worth of work done at 11 a.m. Think about that, boys. It's 11 a.m. right now. I've just done half a week's worth of work. I'll say that again. It's 11 a.m. right now. Half a week's worth of work. Why y'all tactical with women? Just be a vibe. You don't know what you're talking about, bro. Really good video. Oh, thank you, boys. Nah, I just recorded 4. That's all I'm going to do. My plan was 5, but since 2 of them were like almost an hour long, I'm just going to do 4. I record for about 3 hours when I sit down. I'll go over the donations very quick if you want to hear those, because so many people donated 3 hours ago. Fucking hell. $5 from Christian John. Hamza, is there any disadvantage to doing a bulk? Oh, I answered this one already, didn't I? QROY. How's your day going and what did you have for breakfast? Yo, baby, are you still watching this? You still watching the live stream, baby? Can you bring me a protein shake, please? QROY. $5. How was your day going and what did you have for breakfast? Mine's really good. I had a local wrap. My day's going really well. It's 11 a.m. I've not had breakfast yet. I've just had 1 coffee. I've just been fasting so far. Fasting's fucking key, man, if you want to be productive. If I ate a meal before this, I would have had like brain fog as I try and speak these words. So now I'm still quite mental. I'm quite like drained because I've spoke for 3 hours straight. Literally, it's like you got to remember this, boys. It's not like I've been in a conversation for 3 hours. I have literally just spoke for 3 hours straight with the camera here. Thank you, baby.
You're welcome.
You're a good girl. You guys getting jealous? It's good being a masculine guy, boys. I'm telling you. Rex Wayne, do you have any advice for intrusive thoughts? Yeah, I mentioned it to you before, bro. Meditation and journaling. Yeah, bathrobe merch would be cool, wouldn't it, boys? I've been meaning to get that organized for a while. It's just kind of annoying to set that kind of stuff up. I don't really like physical products to fuck with. She's a good girl, isn't she, boys? Halloos, $10. Thank you, bro. Hamza, I'm a night owl American, and I want to thank you for your mission to help young men. I'm practicing stoicism and Taoism, and it's helped me a lot. I hope to be an author like Dostoevsky one day. Thank you for that, man. I don't actually know about Taoism. I'm going to look into that more. By the way, boys, I'm just doing donations now. So if you want to hear the donations and you want to stick around for a little bit, then you can. If not, if you got something more important to do, you can shoot off if you want. Noah Coleman, $5. One of your old videos was a message to your 25-year-old self. As you're 25 now, you should watch it back as it's beautiful how the things you said have aged. Yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you reminding me of that. I think maybe the next stream I do. Yeah, if you boys are watching this, for the next live stream I do, please try and remind me. There's a video I have on my channel called A Message to My 25-Year-Old Self. I made it like 2 years ago, so it's like a video I made for me. Like, I made it 2 years ago for me today. Remind me in the next live stream. I'll watch it live and we'll like do a little live reaction. That'd be kind of cute. I barely remember what I said in it. I'll try and remember. Yeah. Tree Man, $5. Not taking action, procrastination is one of the worst bad habits. Yeah, I agree, man. Weenie, super chat, weenie. Wiener. Does anyone say wiener? Wiener. Does anyone actually call their pee wiener? I want to say thank you for everything. You're welcome, bro. Jack Wettingsteel, £2. Have you read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill? Nah, I didn't even realize that was a book by him. Outwitting the Devil. I'll have a look. Is that about temptation? No. Oh, boys, this morning I just saw the. I don't even know if I'm gonna get banned for saying this, but I just saw the. Probably can't even fucking say it without getting cancelled, can I, bro? I fucking hate censorship, bro. I wish I could be unfiltered. Yeah, I was gonna tell you about a video I saw this morning, a music video I saw this morning, which was just fucking degenerate. Diablo 40 CZK, I love you, Brotter. Thank you, bro. Hussein, 99 cents. Thank you, man. El Sinu, 179 yen. Bruh, thank you, bro. Harshat Singh, 40 yen. Why we're trying to change but can't. Advice/tip. Why you're trying to change but you can't. It's probably because of your identity and your beliefs about yourself, bro. It's probably more psychology than it is anything else. You still see yourself as this level, and so you're trying to like go above it without actually changing how you see yourself. Should I say it, boys? What do you do for a first date? Just go to a cafe together, bro. Let's just go to a cafe. A nice, like, what's the word? Home? You know, a cafe, but, like, not, like, a big chain, like Starbucks or anything. Go to, like, more of a, oh, there's a small, like, random cafe there. Go to a cafe with a girl for your first date. If she's more of, like, a degen and you're more of a degen, then, yeah, go for drinks or do drugs first. If you're just trying to fuck it, bro, go do drugs together. if you're like fucking degenerate. But like if you're not a degenerate, if you're actually looking for like a good woman or something, go for like a cafe. I really like that. Go in, get like a nice like coffee or something, sit next to each other, just vibe and stuff. Cafe still got the kind of vibe where you can escalate a little bit. You can still like end up kissing there and stuff. That's fine. It's fast, cheap. That guy just said it. Yeah, it's fast and cheap. It's like maybe $5 each. Just pay for her as well, so it's like $10 for the date. You can maybe get like a little bit of like a little dessert thing if you've been working really hard as well. It's you taste it with each other. That's a nice experience. You sit there for like an hour or two, just vibing, boom, easy. Never go for like dinner dates or anything unless she's already your girlfriend, I would say. The Resilience Club 249. Hi, how to record vids like you don't script. Just follow what I did in the live stream, bro. But honestly, I've been recording videos. I think I've done like 700 videos now, so it's it's a lot of it's just practice. Brother, how do I stop gambling? I believe meditation still is the most effective cure to addiction for all kinds of addiction. So it seems weird how to stop gambling. The answer is meditation. But like, what you could also do is read the book Dopamine Nation. I'll say that again. Read the book Dopamine Nation. It mentions gambling on there, and it might be interesting. Misfer recites 40 yen. How do I really be confident? And thank you so much for inspiration. You can try and shortcut the confident process by just, acting confident and getting hyped up like a lot of people recommend. And that can, give you a little short-term boost, which is okay. But honestly, the best way to get confident is just long-term. Just become the kind of guy who should be confident. Chances are, like, you're trying to become confident right now, but you're like some skinny, fat little 18-year-old, spotty, unattractive, not successful guy. It's like, you don't really deserve to be confident right now. I don't say that to insult you, but those are facts about you, most likely, right? If you're not a successful, attractive guy, if you're not in shape, if you're not disciplined and stuff, if you've never done anything that gives you a level of pride, then like you don't even deserve to be confident anyway. So how about you just say, if you're trying to be confident, boys, say to yourself right now, or ask yourself, what could I do which would make me deserve to be confident? Well, over the next few years, I could go and do 1,000 hard workouts in the gym. Over the next few years, I could go and become successful and make $5,000 a month online. Those are the things that you'd actually deserve to feel confident about. Maybe you don't deserve to be confident right now. True North, $9.99. Thank you, Hamza. Thank you, bro. Gunners IX. Do you hit abs whilst working, and are you a Gunners fan? I don't know what Gunners is. Do I hit abs whilst bulking? I usually do. This is the bulk where I've not done it. I've not really seen that much of a difference, which is interesting. Brian, $1. Vague motivation, 40 yen. Are you gonna meet Tate one day? Yeah, I reckon it's gonna be soon, inshallah. Marker, €1. €1. Thank you, bro. Very nub guy, 40 yen. Do you have any advice for procrastination? I don't want to give you the normal advice you've heard. So you want some advice for procrastination? Wake up and don't eat anything for 5 hours. Wake up and literally just like tell yourself, okay, go and sit down and try and do some work or study and whatever it is you need to do. And just don't eat anything for 5 hours. I've done that today. So I woke up at about 5. It's 11 right now. I'm just breaking my fast right now. When you've just woken up and you're fasted, it's easy to do work, honestly. I mean, fasting is like, most of it's carbs. Honestly, most of it is literally just carbs. If you just don't eat carbs till like 1 p.m. or 2 p.m., you'll be more productive than you've ever been before. Maybe like, procrastination, people think it's about productivity. People think it's about, oh, maybe you should try the Pomodoro technique or some shit. Maybe it's none of that. Maybe it's just that you've just ate carbs recently, and carbs just make you stupid and lazy. Literally, I swear to God, carbs make you stupid and lazy, and people still eat them these days. Now, yeah, eat them later on, 4 p.m., 5 p.m., right, fine. Most of the day's gone, okay, fine. But anyone who's waking up and eating some kind of carbs first thing in the morning, like cereal or some shit, bro, holy fuck. I used to do that when, I was a little bit younger, and like fitness was my only thing that I was trying to do for enough. But as soon as you get a little bit like older or more mature and you've got more goals than just your body, and you also want to become successful and get good grades or make money, You don't have the space to be eating carbs in the morning time, bro. Change this one thing and you'll be twice as productive. Have you looked into blockchain? Nah, not that much, bro. Marker, €5. Am I prepared for a possible cancellation? And if so, are you moving to Rumble? We are somewhat prepared. We've already got a Rumble account, which is like posting automatically the videos that we're posting, so it's like somewhat growing. We have an email list of 150,000 people, so which is like safe from any kind of cancellation. So if I do get cancelled, I can send a broadcast to 150,000 people. Maybe about 30% will open that, which is about 50,000 people will see a message from me the day that I get cancelled. So that will give us a little bit of like, I'll be able to tell everyone quick, oh yeah, but I'm on this new website, or I'm on here, or I'm on here. I'm not sure if I'd get like fully cancelled. Like I got cancelled on Skillshare, which was just, it's so fucking weird. Also now, I don't know about you boys. Let me know if there's like any like diehard fans here. But since I got cancelled on Skillshare, anytime I see a YouTuber do like a collab with them now, especially if the YouTubers in our space, I lose respect for them straight away. Honestly, like I seen some YouTubers do like a little Skillshare sponsorship, and I just think like, oh, you're a bit of a rat. I'm not gonna lie. Like you're like, fair enough. They might have been good to you or something, but like if they're a fucking censorship kind of company, it's like, come on, man. Although that's not really fair to say, because then YouTube's cancelled Tate and I'm still on YouTube, so maybe I'm a bit of a rat too then. Young T-Show, BGN, $2. Can you make a full guide on stopping binge eating? Yeah, there's one already, bro. There's one. If you look at the YouTube channel, there's a 40-minute video titled "What Fitness Influencers Don't Want You to Know: Diet Advice That Could Change Your Life." It's got about 2 million views. Vague motivation, 40 yen. It's rupees, brother. And I sent you an email. Yeah, thanks for the 40 yen, bro. Luigi Owen, can you drink anything whilst fasted? Yeah, you can. So just drink coffee, black coffee, drink tea with like no milk or anything. That's absolutely fine. Even like honestly, coffee with like a small amount of like almond milk is, I think it's fine anyway as well. Okay, boys. I'm gonna stop talking for a while and just close my mouth now. I'm tired. I'm hopping off, boys. Appreciate you all watching. Do the hard work, especially when you don't feel like it. And there's so many new donations. Elliot, mate, £2. What are your core beliefs about yourself? That I've made a huge amount of progress, and I've still got so much more progress to make. Faded Miracle, 50 days of self-improvement, never felt better. Thank you so much. You're welcome, man. It's so interesting. There's a YouTuber who made a video about us. Do you guys want to see quick? So it's this like finance YouTuber who has like a second channel, and he made like a video, like one of those ones like, oh, investigating Hamza's cult, and he did it, and he found the same thing that so many guys have found, which they try and investigate our cult and somewhat looking out in a negative lens to see if there's something bad that we're doing, and eventually they go and see that every single video of mine is filled with hundreds of comments of not just guys posting the emoji or saying, oh, nice vid. It's guys writing paragraphs of saying that this content has changed their lives. It keeps happening. Every YouTuber who's out there, maybe someone will clip this and try and make it go viral, but any YouTuber who's out there, come and do an investigation into my channel, into our cult, go and investigate me as much as you can. And maybe you'll find some negative things, but mostly you're going to find a new movement of men who actually really appreciate this message. I think that's kind of like weird for other creators to see. Like other creators are seeing like my cult-like audience and thinking that there must be some shady shit going on. It's just like, people just appreciate when you're giving them good videos, bro. People just appreciate when you're like actually, like when you actually care. I don't want to sound like a dick, bro, but like I don't think more than 90% of YouTubers or influencers actually care about their audience. Honestly, I really don't think most people who have an audience actually care about their audience, and this is why you see influencers come and go, come and go, come and go. because it's like their audience kind of get attached and, you know, they make some nice funny videos or something. But that person doesn't give a fuck about, like, oh, you know, and they always like pretend they do. You always see these motherfuckers write comments and, oh, you know, I love you guys so much. Oh, like, you know, hey friends. Like, they always say this shit and it always makes me cringe. Jake Tran was like I don't even know the guy, to be honest, but I've just seen videos, so I don't know if this is true, but I've seen videos that he's been like scamming his audience. And I saw a video of Jake Tran, this other YouTuber, come in and write a comment of like, I'm not sorry for scamming you guys, but you don't even realize how much I love you all. Like, shut up. You don't fucking love your bro. If anyone loves their audience, it's me. And guess what? Guess what, bro? Guess what? I don't love you. Of course I don't. I care about you. I care about your growth, but I don't fucking love. Bro, I don't even know you, bro. So I know these fucking YouTubers saying, "Oh, I love you guys so much." They don't love you. They're saying that to manipulate you so that you like attach more into them. Oh, we're like a family here. Shut up. If these creators love their audiences, they'd actually speak to them and actually meet them in person. They don't do that, do they? You'll never see another influencer do what I do, which is actually go and meet their fans like almost like every week and every single day go onto like video calls with them. You'll never see that. None of these influencers out there right now who've got 500k, 1 million or anything, none of them actually care about their audience. They just think they're a one-man army, and they've been elected into this position of power by getting the attention of this audience that they don't even care about. And this is why all of these guys you see who sometimes get 100k subs, 500k, 1 million, they'll disappear within a year or two from now because they don't give a shit about you. People think that like there's, you know, there's such like, oh, you know, the people have been investigating us, like, oh, the dark truth of Hamza's cult and stuff, thinking that there's like some manipulative tactic or something. Guess what the tactic is, bro? You want to learn from me, and you want to get a cult like audience, which will transform your life. You want to learn what it is, bro. It's realizing that each and every comment right now is an individual person who's probably a lot like younger Hamza. It's as simple as that. It's realizing that I actually have so much in common with each person commenting right now that I'd hop into a video call with you, and I do every single morning. You will never ever see, or at least, you know, maybe after this video gets posted somewhere, but you'll never have seen it before this, where any influencer actually actively speaks to their fans. And I'm not just talking about, oh yeah, they reply to some comments, like, you know, there's a comment there and the YouTuber replies with a couple of emojis or some shit. Like, shut the fuck up, bro. People have said, oh, Hamza doesn't reply to comments. It's because it's not worth it. For me to actually write a detailed comment, I may as well hop onto a video call with one of my boys, which is what I do every morning. And if I'm not going to write a detailed comment, like most YouTubers don't, but they still reply to YouTube video comments, they'll reply with like one-word answers. Oh, like, thanks, emoji. Like, shut up. You're not helping anyone when you reply to a fucking comment on YouTube, bro. Just keep an eye out, boys. I think that's something to leave you with. There's a lot of influencers and YouTube celebrities these days. If you want to see if that person is just like a businessman, or if you want to see that person actually cares about you and actually, like, you know, says who they say they are, look at their actions outside of their YouTube videos. If you can't see many pictures of that guy with other people, especially if it looks like an organized event, like, you can go to our YouTube channel and literally see a big picture of me in like multiple meetups I've done where it's literally just us training and working out together. You can literally see, and that's like, you can't fake that shit, bro. You can't fucking fake that shit. But all these, like, I see so many of these fucking like random YouTubers who, it pisses me off because they say shit like, oh, you know, I love my fans so much. Like, no, you don't. No, you don't. You love the money and the clout that you get from them. You love that, bro. Relax. Before you attach yourself to someone online, bro, just ask yourself, like, how much do they really care about the people who have given them the power that they have? And this, I wish, you know what, I'm saying this to you, I wish our parents followed this with politicians. Not this, like, imagine this with politicians, right? There's the politician that will go around and fucking, like a little fucking, like some fucking dickhead, right? He'll go around, shake some hands, you know, oh, take some pictures, shake some hands. And he'll kiss a baby on the forehead. Take some pictures. They'll do this. This is what most influencers are doing to you guys these days. It's just like the politicians. They'll go to shake some, like, you know, some brokie's hand. They'll knock on some house of like some broke woman, and they'll shake hand like, oh, see, take a picture, and you'll see them walking away like doing that, getting away, like insulting the woman. You see this with politicians. It's the exact same with YouTubers and influencers. Most of them don't give a fuck about you. Most of them do not care. And I wish our parents had like the audacity and the discipline to sort of observe this in politicians and think, yeah, most of these guys don't care about me. They should look for the guy who cares about you. If he's not showing clear signs, if he's not actually spending time with his people, he doesn't give a fuck about you. And all these YouTubers, it always pisses me off anytime I click on a video where the YouTuber starts with like, oh, hey guys, and welcome, like, I love you guys so much, thank you for 500,000 subscribers, I love you guys so much, welcome back guys, we're like a family here. Shut up. You're not like a family, bro. You're not like a family. Pussy. Sweet boys, I'm off. I fucking hate live streaming, bro. It just turns me into like, I just start ranting and getting angry, bro. I fucking hate it.